What's up, everyone? How's it going? How's it going? Oh my goodness, this is happening all very, very fast. 4:30, 4:30 came out of nowhere. I was in here chatting with some of you while getting my coffee and running around the house, the apartment, getting some things in order. How are you all doing this Christmas Eve, 23rd of December? Oh my gosh, we already have 55 likes in the I was just about to say, let's get some likes rolling. You guys have already hit that like button. Thank you all. There's 74-ish people. Wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you for hitting the like button. Hello, Miss Wee Lassie. Lene. I spanked the like button, but that's just me. Coffee Buzz, how's it going? Oh, I just slurped this, by the way. I didn't. My first one of the night was very loud. I'm gonna quiet from now on. Debbie, how's it going? Nella, Cheryl, Alicia, Kays, how's it going? How's it going? Twister, Debbie, all of you, Rebecca. I'm seeing some familiar names in the chat. I keep wanting to say faces. Of course, Joyce. We've got Kathy in here. Jennifer, Ty. Alicia, could you let me know if the CC is working? I know you're on mobile, I believe, but you might be able to check still. Let me know if you could, or just anybody, I guess. Lorraine, how's it going? Raindrops. Slurp away. Hello, Aaron from New Hampshire. Wow. Ginger Owl, how's it going? Greetings to you. Thumbs up to your show. Thank you, Lisa. Sasha, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Deborah, Sinan. Okay, it's working. Thank you so much. Allison, Ocean Girl. Wow, you made a live. Cynthia, Darla. Oh, man. Oh, JTube from Scotland in here early. I tried to stream a little bit earlier today, so as I do normally, I'm going to let the stream kind of get started as we'll let some people start to filter in before we dive into today's topic, which I'll get into the title of this video. It kind of has to do with what I'm getting into now, but I wanted to stream earlier today because I am leaving for Canada in my flight leaves in like 14 hours. 13 hours. So it's going to be a late night. It's going to be or I guess I should say a short night. I want to go to bed relatively early. I've spot mopped the entire apartment. It's very clean. I have everything done, the dishes. I washed the sheets. We're coming back home to clean sheets. I did everything I needed to do in the apartment to where I can just get done with the stream, go out to dinner with the wifey, beautiful wife, and then we can come back and just crash out because we have to get up super early for, even a domestic flight on Christmas Eve would be pretty, we'd be risking it if we didn't show up at least 2 hours early. They're saying to show up at least 3 hours early since we're leaving the country. And so we had to do all of our COVID stuff this week, make sure we don't have COVID. We do not have COVID. So we can travel. And that all got approved. Amy says, nobody cares. Well, thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. You should go to a different stream. Anyways, just like I said, letting people know what's going on. Yeah, it threw me off there. What was I saying? Yeah, leaving tomorrow morning. Sorry, Amy, that was rude. But then again, you said nobody cares, and that was also rude. Just have a fun, safe trip. Miss Wee Lassie, hope you've remembered to pack your lovely wife's excrement. Yes, always clean house before I go. Rude, Amy, says Debbie. Okay, we're going to get into this. I don't want to waste too much of Debbie's time here. So we're going to get into it today. The reason why, goodbye, Amy. The reason why today's stream is, Kay says, we care. Well, that was basically my whole story, is just that I wanted to stream early. It helps for all of you that are in Europe and across the pond in general. But it also helps me because I can get to bed at a decent time. Everyone cares except Amy. Yeah, so thrown off now. Let's get into it. Summer Wells. So the reason I named this The Final Search is not because this is the final time we'll be talking about the Summer Wells case or doing deep dives as we have more information. It is just the final search of the year for me here on this channel. I will be, of course, following this story as more information hopefully comes out in the new year. As for this year, I haven't covered this story a lot, but I figured we would end the stream. This is the last stream of the year on Summer Wells. I feel like she deserves it. There is just so much mystery around this. A lot of different opinions about what people think happened with this case, or there's a lot of speculation. And so we're going to go into all of that, and I figured it would be a good one to end on. Of course, the search will continue into the new year. But aside from this, so this will be the last stream of the year. But I have made 3 videos to come out in the next 10, 11 days while I'm away. And so every 3 days, roughly, there'll be a new video that I've already made that I have scheduled to come out. And I'm just going to kick back, relax. And if you guys enjoy those videos, great. If not, it's just something to keep the channel active until I return. So can you recap real quick? Yeah, Cheryl. So I'm going to recap in the best way that I can. And that is that Summer Wells. So this is as much of a recap as I can give, is that, we all know as of November, late November, November 30th, the search for Summer continued. They renewed the ground search because the leaves that had fallen from the summer had made things a lot easier to see. So they were picking back up on those efforts to look for Summer. We're just going to watch this little video here, and then we'll get into a little bit of a general recap. I'm not going to necessarily go into the recap, Cheryl, of the Summer Wells case. I have a whole timeline over here on the left. This, for anyone, I'll just do the very paraphrased version. Summer Wells, 5 years old, went missing June 15th, 2021. And I could go through the whole day. I made a video of her entire day if you want to go back and look at that. But there's a lot. So it's been a long time that she has been missing. So let's go into this video here, and then we'll get into what I want to talk about. So
we are hoping for good news, but it's unclear this morning what, if anything, crews found during a renewed search effort for Summer Wells. News Channel 5's Nick Barris is in the 5 Alert Center. And Nick, you followed this story so closely, and authorities have been really tight-lipped about what was happening yesterday.
They have, of course, taking this very seriously, working very hard at it, but no word this morning on whether or not anything of substance was found during yesterday's search effort. But what we do know is that search will continue, probably getting underway just as we're speaking right now over there in East Tennessee this morning. Crews were out yesterday for the first time in months searching the heavily wooded area around Summer's home in the Beech Creek area. Now, you'll remember initially police considered the possibility Summer had just wandered away from her home this past June and perhaps something had happened to her in the woods. Since then, again, they've considered the possibility that she was abducted as well or met with foul play. But dozens of officers on foot do plan to be back out there today to continue with what is essentially a grid search, hoping to find any trace of the child. But again, Amy, at this point, no indication from authorities whether or not anything was found.
But what sparked crews to start searching again? Did they get some new information?
No, the way we understand it, there were no new leads, but you'll have to recall that when she did disappear this past summer, that was the search effort in June and July when there was some heavy overgrowth in the wooded area where the home is. But now, with the change of season, it's all died down. The landscape and terrain more clear, visible. They're going back in there to see if anything was missed or if anything maybe now is revealed as much of that vegetation has gone away. Keep in mind, authorities continue to take tips. You can call the TBI, 1-800-TBI-FIND. The reward in the case for information leading to Summer Wells now is nearly $60,000. We'll have updates on.
Okay, so a little bit of an update as of like kind of the most recent big development in the story with their continued search. Thank you, Kays, for coming in and giving the actual description of the short synopsis or the summary. I'm brain farting right now. You have to bear with me today, guys. I didn't think I would be this tired, having to get up at 5 a.m. to do our COVID test and just all the things that go into traveling right now. It's bear with me. But yes, looking into this story more, this is a hot mess, like you said, Kays. The family, it's just, we'll get into it. But Twister, I just saw, has apparently, and Twister is someone in the chat today, it looks like a new, I don't know if I've seen them before, but Twister apparently has been on a couple searches for summer. So it would be interesting if I open up the lines later. Twister, if you'd like to call in and talk about that, let me know in the chat. So yeah, anyways, comment down below, Twister, if you'd be willing to do that. If not, it's completely fine, but I am curious on what that was like. And actually Twister could give some information, give some valuable information in terms of what we're talking about today. So obviously we just looked at that video that came out shortly after the I'm in. Nice. We might have to do that a bit later. If you end up having to go later, if we're still rolling, let me know and I'll jump to the calls early or something, Twister. But I'm going to go in order here. So these searches that were being conducted in the later parts of November, I just went through and I was kind of looking to see where are they searching, right, in relation to the house. And this building right here stood out. And then, of course, they show a couple different photos and videos in this thread. They talked about, in addition to the ground search, they were conducting, searches in the sky. They were, looking through nearby swamps and ponds, things like that. And then I got to thinking about it. Oh, at the very end, it says that, this is what it was. Approximately 350 acres have been covered in the last 2 days. So I was curious, like, how much land is that? Like, how much space is that in comparison to where the house is at? And if we look actually at this building right here, where they're setting up, sorry, not this building, this red building is actually the church that's just up the street. And you can actually see in this photo, in this series of photos, you can see a bunch of tombstones, gravestones, and that is the cemetery that's near the church. So if we actually go to the map, we can see that 110. Now, some people will correct me that it's not 110 Ben Hill Road that the Wells live at. That's just what I'm using for the sake of this stream. It pops up very easily. Someone said it's something. It can come up as another address as well, but for the sake of this video, that's what it's showing. But the Mount Carmel Free Will Baptist Church is where they were. It looks like where they were setting up their search efforts. So you can see. There's the graves, the tombstones, and then you can see the red brick building right there. That's going to be that part of the building right there. If you can see the edge of that right there. That's the edge of that. And you can even see the fireplace. So it's looking like they are conducting their search just down the street, or at least starting their search efforts just down the street from the Wells house. So if we actually go back, I thought, well, let's just see if they were setting up camp here, which would make sense because they have a large parking lot. They can get all of their agency vehicles parked. There's not really another spot to do that unless you want to line up a bunch of cars on the dirt roads off of the main highway here, Beach Creek. But between the house and that church, let's try to figure out how much 350 acres is. Because they said in that tweet that they have conducted in the last 2 days searches. They've covered 350 acres of searches. Oh, Angela's in here. What's up, Angela? Oh wait, no. Is she? Yeah, Angela. Hey, how's it going? So if we start at the search, let's just say that they start searching around here and they search all along the road, Beach Creek Road. I would assume they're going to check on kind of both sides of the road, but for the sake of this, we're just going to make an outline that goes all the way up to the Wells household and then goes around the Wells property. Let's just say they searched deep into the trees back here a little ways. And then let's just say they searched all along here. This will make sense in a moment once we connect all these dots. And I'd be very interested, Twister, in where you were searching when you were there helping. But let's just say they went all the way around kind of this general area back up to the church. Okay. Now, it's hard to see probably on my screen. But this total area is 15.72 million square feet. If I'm reading that correctly, 15,720,981 feet squared. Okay. So if we want to calculate that now, if it might be easier to see. So this is our big circle now of an area that I would assume that they could cover all of this, the trees all the way up to the house. If we times that number, if we look into how many square feet or acres, if we convert that into acres, this is what we get. So square foot, we have 15,720,981 square feet. And in acres, that's showing 360 acres. So, Cheryl, this is in Tennessee, by the way. I urge you, Cheryl, to here, and I might be able to have. There's a timeline, Cheryl, that Alicia might be able to share with us if I can give it to Alicia. It shows kind of everything, and maybe you'll be able to pull this up on the side that kind of just you could read along as well. But yeah, this is all in Tennessee. I'll zoom out and show exactly where we're at here in relation to the rest of the state. So this is Northeast Tennessee. So this is Nashville here. Knoxville is one of the bigger cities near where we're looking at. And then we've got Kingsport and Rogersville are kind of the two medium-sized cities that are on either side of kind of the area that we're looking at here. So this equals out to about 360 acres, which they just stated in this tweet that they were able to cover 350 acres. Now, I'm not sure if this is how much they covered, but it's safe to say, like, when you really look at this, 350 acres is big, but it's not that big. I mean, they're really only covering the tree line, and then it covers everything within this right here, okay? But it's still just from the house all the way down to the church. And it makes me wonder if they were just setting up at the church and if they started searching more near the house and they searched 350 acres around the house in every direction. Angela, thank you for that super chat, super sticker. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good to see you in here. So yeah, if we copy this and paste this, if we were to draw essentially the same circle around the house, just a rough circle of 300, we would have to get to 15 million, 15 million square feet. So if we connect it, all right. 9. Wait, why is that not doing the same thing? Let's go to 110 Ben Hill Road. This is the Wells house. We measure the distance. Just draw a big circle around it. This is going to be big. 19 miles. let's just shrink this down. Oh, it's not connecting. This is why. Is it not connecting? What the heck? Okay, well, cool. When the maps fail you, it's just pretend that this this big circle area is more widespread around the house. Like they would have been able to look in the cemetery across the street, all the neighboring houses within, about a half a mile, quarter mile. But it's not that big of a space is what I'm trying to get at. So another thing that was interesting, this photo, I was just like, why, like the plane? Like I know obviously this photo could have just been taken and published, but they clearly were flying lower, right? Unless they had some crazy tech attached to the plane that's able to like see things and pick up heat signatures or something. Because this photo here, it's just like they're so high in the sky, like this would not make sense to just be searching from this high. And in fact, I lined up the footage, or I lined up the plane shot here with this mountain range here. So that plane photo was taken essentially right here, and I'll show you guys the photos side by side. So here's the Google map. The Google map is off to the right and the plane photo is off to the left. So I mean, you can see everything's lining up perfectly. Obviously it looks a lot more green on the right, but that's just the way they captured that data. And then, I mean, this is the big giveaway right here, is this big one right here. So what we're looking at is directly to the east on this photo here. So this would be the town of Baileyton, I believe is what it is. So that's exactly what we're looking at there. So this photo actually just almost gets the church in the shot. So just down here off frame would be where the Beach Creek Missionary Baptist Church would be. But you can tell that we're not quite getting it. It's running off and it's cut off there. So it's interesting that they chose to post that photo. Mimi's, how's it going, Mimi? You're amazing with maps. Thank you, Mimi. We're just going through some of the preliminary stuff right now, and then we'll get into kind of some of the stuff that I've watched lately that ring, like maybe some red flags. I'll call them red flags. It seems we have quite a few Rogersville area locals in the chat. Sunflower, Twister. Oh, are there more? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the chat very well. Hold on, let's see. Angela, I'm so excited for my mug to come so I can drink my coffee with it every time you go live. Thank you. I can't wait too. So wait, who's all in here from Rogersville? I'm JTube, thank you for that comment. It would be really interesting to get some people in here and chat if we do open the lines later. So if that is true, I know we know Twister was searching in that area, but Sunflower, Karen, Michelle, if any of you would be willing to do a call in later, let me know. Even if you haven't been in this area or done any searching, it would still be interesting to get your opinion on just kind of the area and just give us a bit more perspective in general. So yeah, let me know. So with that said, so that kind of concludes the tweets that the TBI posted back at the end of November, okay? When they were searching for summer again, when the leaves had began to fall. And you can see that in some of these videos. This is super grainy. It's not going to load super well, but the leaves have fallen, so it's easier to see through some of the brush, some of the bushes. And, you know, with the leaves down, you would think it would be a little bit harder, actually, because it could cover things. But in general, I think it's probably a bit easier. Oh, my gosh, Robin, thank you so much for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. But I wanted to go back and look at one of the earlier posts when they first started searching for summer and where they were at in those searches, because we know from that tweet that we were able to identify they were located at the church just to the east of the house. So let's listen in on this video. This is from July 22nd, so just over a month after Summer went missing.
Rescuers from more than 80 agencies are still out there searching for her. The TBI says they are more desperate than ever to find the little girl, but so far, all leads have come up empty.
Now, we do want to show you a couple of videos that TBI tweeted out late tonight. The footage shows crews conducting a grid search in a field not far from Ben Hill Road today.
Yeah, the TBI says it's just one of many methods that they're using. You can see agents and detectives in a line there, moving slowly and deliberately through that area.
As of now, teams have covered 4.6 miles. The incident commander for the ground search operations, Tim Koob, says after today, the search will continue with a focus on specific areas using specialized teams.
Once we get a lot of these people out, it may make this area calm down a little bit, but we will have people in the Beach Creek community from one end to the other, working tirelessly day in and day out, be able to keep fresh crews coming in and still continue to search until we find someone else.
So they were very optimistic there at the beginning. Obviously, he's saying we'll have fresh crews day in and day out until we find her. But I wanted to point out some of these images as well that we see. Oh, Michelle Moore. Is that one of the people that lives in that area? Oh, she said she's happy to call in. And thank you, Michelle, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. The $10 super sticker. You guys are showing so much support tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Also, Joyce, I'm so sorry your mug is lost in transit. I will do my best to look into that and see. I know that, shipping right now is just wild. So it's very, very difficult to get things on time. Thanks also for the likes, everyone. It helps get the stream out to new people. So if you haven't already, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. This photo right here, I was like, okay, well, this is from that same article back in July 22nd, just over a month after they started looking for her, or after she went missing. Okay, and I saw this barn shed piece of property here, and I was like, well, that's an easy one. Let's go ahead and find that. And that's not the right one, but it's this one here. So in this photo from this article right here, these men are standing half a mile from the Wells house. So this is the Wells household, their property. And this photo was taken right here. And if we go ahead and drop the little Google man, we can see, if we cycle between them, there we are. So there's the green, it's kind of a green roof. And then you can see the mountain behind it. There's the green roof, the mountain behind it. So I would imagine they were right about here, because yeah, you can see the pole even. So they were searching on the north part of the road at this point. They were searching right here. So clearly and the Wells property is on the south side of the road. So, they were doing a grid search at this point north of the road. I love when you do this right here, Angela. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is my favorite. Just getting, I would love to be boots on the ground there to help in any way that I could, right? And like I said in previous streams, after the new year, I may be going out to some of these locations to help in any way that I can. I'm going to be really careful about creating content in those areas just to be as respectful as possible. But in terms of helping out, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of traveling in the new year, barring any issues with COVID and restrictions. I know that there's a big surge right now, but I would love to be there, right, to help. But since I can't be, this is the best thing that I can do, is just to look into it and try to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at in some of these photos and seeing where were they searching, right? So I'm glad you enjoy it, Angela. Thank you. So this is from, like I said, the early searches. So, when we look back at that TBI thread, they really weren't searching too far from, where these photos were taken here in the early parts of the searching. Okay. So like I said, this is a half a mile down the road. If we just keep going, it really isn't that far until we get to the Wells house. I mean, there it is right there. So they were searching very, very close. There's the building right there. So I then saw another photo from June 27th. So this is another photo that came up in the early part of the search. And I was like, okay, this is a little bit harder because these buildings, I mean, they're smaller buildings and these are more commonly sized buildings. And I usually look from above at first to see what buildings are in the area. And before I had those two buildings that were right next to each other. And so, now we're going to try to find where they were at on June 27th. So this was from, or at the very least, this was posted on June 27th. So this could have been from a search on the 25th. I'm not saying this was from the 27th. This was just posted on an article on the 27th. So we'll go to that in a moment. Raindrops. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Merry Christmas and safe travels. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, we will do our best to have safe travels tomorrow. Big surge of COVID in this near Northeast Tennessee. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. We will be very, very careful. Like I said, we had to test negative, all that stuff to even fly in the first place. And what we're doing, we're just spending time with a very small amount of the family. We're hunkering down up at a cabin and just enjoying each other's company. So thank you guys for the well wishes. So anyway, so from this photo from June 27th, I was able to locate that location, and it was right here. And it is actually a mile, 1.2 miles roughly from the house. 1.2. So that first location, that first photo that was taken, like I just said, was right around here, about a half a mile. And this one was taken really, really close to that Mount Carmel Free Will Baptist Church. And if we go back to this view right here, we can see the photo was probably taken in on this road a little bit because the tree is kind of blocking the building. But if we go and pull up the photo again and we go side by side, we can see that is kind of hard to see, but that's basically it. So we're seeing the very edge of this garage, this shed right here, and then the pole. And then over here, we're seeing only this part of the shed and then the tree and the pole. And I mean, you can kind of see the burnt orange like roof right here. You can kind of see it over on this side on the edge. But the mountain range really gives it away right here if we just like look at the different bits of the mountain range. So not that this is like super insane, but just knowing that they were at the very least on the north side of Beach Creek Road within a mile and a half. The church itself from the house, I mean, if we just go 110 Ben Hill Road to the church, it's 1.5 miles. And so we know that June 22nd, they were searching half a mile from the house right in this field. I'm sure they did an entire grid search up here. And then June 27th, we have a photo of them in front of this property here. You can see it from above. There's that, and then there's that little shed. And then just down the road is where we know they were setting up camp. And I know Twister might be able to like verify specifically where they were setting up camp when they went and looked and helped look. But I'm definitely going to open up the calls later because we've got Michelle Moore in here, I believe is one of them, Twister, and then someone else. And so I would love to just chat with you guys about the landscape. I've been to Tennessee, but I've never really explored it much. So like I said, that photo was taken 1.2 miles away from the house. And so, yeah, anyways, Chell, Merry Christmas. I've changed my mind from Cheryl to Chell. Oh, too confusing with two of us in the chat. Oh, okay. Shell then, or instead of Cheryl, Shell. I love your mapping. Well, thank you, Shell. I'm just gonna call you Shell. Thank you so much. Yeah, there is two Cheryls in the chat. You're now Shell, and we've got Cheryl. If I'm not saying that right, let me know. Thank you so much for the super chat. Twister says, yes, that's where they were set up. That's where they set up. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay. It makes me wonder now if when they were searching on their renewed search, it said they covered 350 acres. Like, were they north of Ben Hill Road or Beach Creek Road, rather, where we've been seeing matching those photos up with the early searches? Or were they down in these trees? Like, these trees are thick, right? And we know that it's mountainous, right? It's like foothills or mountains, whatever you want to call it. There's some steep grade to some of these, to the landscape in general. So I don't know. These trees are definitely something where it's like, it's thick, right? So it'd be tough to cover that amount of time in just 2 days, right? And they said that they've covered 350 acres in 2 days. So it's hard to say. Here is a video from, once again, the November 30th, the most recent search. I'll go ahead and play that, and then we'll get back to it.
As you remember, Summer was reported missing by her.
We've got an ad. We've got an ad. Uh-oh.
Before similar web.
Similar web. Get well soon, Michelle. Michelle, I'm supposed to be doing a ton of things, but I'm sick, waiting for the COVID test to be sent. Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully it's just the common cold. I know that was going around like crazy recently. I had it over Thanksgiving.
June 15th, the TBI issued an Amber Alert the very next day. As you may remember, emergency personnel from at least 6 states spent weeks scouring the area near her family's home. No sign of that little girl. Reporter Bianca Moraes joins us now live from the Beach Creek community to give us an update on why law enforcement agencies were back in that area today. Bianca.
Well, we're told law enforcement actually planned this search months ago when they were here last to see if they had missed anything. Crews from about a dozen agencies returned to Beach Creek to launch their second full-scale official search of the area immediately surrounding the Wells home on Ben Hill Road.
We want to wait until this time of year after the frost and that the leaves are off the trees, we can see better and do a more detailed search, hopefully to find some kind of evidence that would help us find Summer.
So this is a lot of the same kind of footage that we saw from the tweet that I showed from TBI of them searching kind of the ground that, now has a lot of fallen leaves. It's a little bit easier to see in terms of some of the bushes and shrubbery, vegetation, whatever you want to call it, being kind of stripped down in the winter. I wasn't able to really identify any landmarks based on just like this. Like it'd be very difficult to try to point out where they're searching. Obviously later on in the video, they did, however, show the church. I guess they showed that earlier. It just went by. But this is that Mount Carmel church. So anyways, that was a pretty easy way to identify where they were at, setting up base camp at the very least. Twister says, I have a YouTube channel, but I can't post link to make it clickable. What are you trying to post exactly? I just sent all the links to the traffic survivors I was telling you about and what Holly was talking about the other night in chat. Hard to listen to, but a real eye opener. Oh, thank you, Angela. I will look to. Where did you send that to? I'll be sure to look at that at some point. Yeah, there's a ton of people in here. 327 people. Thank you all for being here. We've got pretty much half of us that have hit the like button. If you could be so kind as to hit the like button, it would be my Christmas wish so this stream can get out to more people, and more people can learn Summer's story and dive into the case with us. But anyway, so yeah, here's Mount Carmel. I thought it was interesting. This is the Google Street View of Mount Carmel, the church that is just up the street. And you can see VBS right here, which is, I believe, Vacation Bible School, as I remember it. Growing up in the Midwest, there was definitely Vacation Bible School. If you look at the dates on this, this is 6/17/2021. So June 17th of 2021, from 6:45 to 9 is when their Vacation Bible School is supposed to be happening. Not that that's very crazy, but Summer did go missing 2 days before that. And I thought about that for a second. I thought, oh wait, is that where they went to church? And then I looked into it obviously a bit more, and then I found that they went to church here at the Kingsport. What is it? The SDA church, which is, I believe, where Candace and Dawn took the kids, which is actually a much further drive. So if this is the actual drive from Candace's, from the church in Kingsport where they apparently went, it'd be like a 20-minute drive. Angela, yes, I can potentially check that out on the plane for sure. Where did you say you had it? The link for submissions? Okay, cool. I'm going to download a bunch of that stuff tonight. And then, I'll look to read and catch up on all that, maybe on the plane or at some point over during my travels. So yeah, thank you. Anyway, so this is, I believe, where they went to church. Oh, Twister says my YouTube channel has it has video of some of the searches I've been on. Oh, cool. Let me just go to your YouTube real quick. It says something about you not being able to post a link, right? That would be pretty cool. If you're willing to let us show the footage, Twister. Of course, typing in Twister, it's not just going to show up your thing. I got to look up channel here. The movie Twister came up. All right, what's your profile picture? Is this you? No. Twister, I'm not seeing your channel. Is your channel name Twister? Because sometimes looking for channels is hard. What's your actual, like, in the about section or whatever, the youtube.com/. I'll go to your channel if you don't mind. I'd love to show the video of you searching that area. So this is the property line of Dawn and Candace Wells. So we went through this in a previous stream. Oh wow, thanks for the 200 likes. Or someone's about to be the 200th like, the next person. Appreciate it. So this is the actual property line for Dawn and Candace. And we can actually go to the aerial photography view. So their property line ends right here. It's a pretty big property. And so we'll get back to why that matters a little bit later, or we'll go into that in a little bit. But once again, this is another thing that we covered. We're kind of going through some stuff that we've gone through. But Candace and the grandma, Candy, we'll just call her Candy, were on their way home from Hunters. So I have it right now on Priceless Foods. We know that after Priceless, they dropped Hunter off. And on the way home, reportedly, around 5 minutes from home is where this video was taken. We all know the video of Summer on the milk cartons with the Orange Crush, the pieces of candy. Of course, Candace apparently had told the grandma to take a photo, but she took a quick video. And so that's why we have this... That's why we have this like 3-second video. This is slowed down to 12% so we can see. I'm going to just briefly go over this just because, it's something to go over. We went over it in the last stream, but this right here, we can see exactly where they're at based off this sign right here. And then the 2 poles that stick up right. If we scroll along right here. So those 2 poles. So if we go ahead and pull the map here, it's near the Walker Fork Church. So if we go right here on the map and we go around the corner, this would be the direction east that they would be heading. Here is, oops. All right, let's do this. Now, for those of you who've been in one of my previous Summer Wells streams, you're seeing the same thing. However, for those who haven't, this is the same spot right here, the arrow pointing to the east. Let me read a couple of these chats coming in. We got some, Angela says, no way that Grandis in the video talking like Candace said it was. Grandis has more gruff, deeper voice. Oh, so you don't think it's actually the grandma in the video, Angela? Interesting. What is Aaron showing us in this? The reason for this particular video? I'm just kind of going through some of the stuff that I've gone over in this video. Is something going on? Is people are used to mini troll? Are people trolling? What's going on? People here are pretty nice. Not many angry people. You weren't rude at all. Oh, I don't think anyone was being rude. I haven't seen any rude comments. Anyways, continuing on. Thank you guys for not being rude if you haven't been rude. So yeah, it's actually easy to even see this little orange sign next to it. You can see it. It's very blurred. But the sign right there. Oh, you can see both of them right now. Look at this. So you can see this orange sign and this yellow sign. Let me lower this. Here we go. There's the yellow sign. There's the orange sign. Yellow, orange. Oh, it's perfect, you guys. It's perfect. So it's very, very, very obvious based on this that's exactly where they're at. And I mean, we zoom forward. We can't get it exact, but these are the 2 poles that they go by right here. And that is the same 2 poles right there. So you can see the lighter colored pole on the left with the dark at the bottom. That's that. And then this pole right here, which they sometimes change these poles out after storms and stuff anyway. So they're not going to always match the street view. Shannon says, I'm amazed. Thank you. So Joyce, this video was shot after Hunter was dropped off. So Summer should be alone in the back. Yes. And Summer is alone in the back seat. So this is correct. However, the thing that sticks out to me here is that Candace mentioned being 5 minutes from home when taking this video. Now, I believe that because if we look at the map, now if I go to this really quick and we zoom out, this is the spot that they were at when they took that video. Okay. And if we go to 110 Ben Hill Road, their property, and we see they're 5 miles away, which is saying on Google Maps it'll take about 9 minutes. You know, I don't think Candace is always probably very accurate with her, estimates, right? If Chris, from the interview room was interviewing her about something and she said something took 5 minutes, it may have taken 10, but to her, in her head, it could have just been 5 minutes, right? So we're not going to grill her on that. I think that she's probably telling the truth as to when this video was taken. However, apparently the grandma said that the video was taken an hour and a half before they got home. So That doesn't line up at all. And this is what I went over in a previous stream. We're not going to dive like crazy into this, but there's theories. A lot of people think that they went and met Don Wells. Don Wells works down in Jonesboro, or at least he was at the time. And the theory is that they split off the road and went down here with Summer. If Summer was indeed, some people think she's dead in that video, which is crazy to think. But if she was, and they did take a detour, that video could have been taken. They could have still taken the detour all the way to Jonesboro and back. And that would be about an hour and 40 minutes. And so that would make the grandma story add up. So let me read a couple of these comments coming in. You guys are posting some really engaging stuff. We'll go from there after this. Look at how close the person is to Candace in the front seat, knee to knee. I think there could be 3 people in front. Ooh, hold on, Eddie. Let's look into that. Is this that Subaru? I think she may have gotten that after. I was going to say, what kind of car is this? It's not... Ginger says, or 2 very large people, 2 very fat people. Yeah, it's hard to say. Where are the knees? I'm not seeing anyone else's knees. They do look very close together. Here, we've got 450 people in here. I gotta create a poll here. I just have to ask, do you think Summer was alive in the car video? So the milk photos that we see, the still images from this shot here, do you think that Summer is alive? Also, someone just mentioned this is Grandma's truck. Okay, thank you. That's right. Allison says Grandma has been quiet through all of this. Good question, Miss Wee Lassie. What did Miss Wee Lassie say? Where's Miss Wee Lassie's comment? Is there no metadata to verify when the clip was shot? I'm sure that there may have been some metadata, Lassie. Whether or not, they looked into that or not, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some, though. MTGV. I should have put another option of not sure. Well, if you're not sure, then you could just comment not sure, which it sounds like you're not sure. So, is there any metadata from the clip? So I can't check this clip here. I mean, this is just an upload. I can't actually look into the metadata from the clip. Like if I had the actual file from the phone, just like, for example, this shot of me at the beach today. I went to the beach today, by the way, before I vacuumed the car out. I figured, I may as well make a mess and then vacuum the car out. Anyways, on an iPhone, you can, I took a little selfie today. I can scroll up and see that this photo was taken December 23rd, 2021, 10:31 a.m. It was using my front camera. Look at this. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, it just says all the info, right? Just make sure there's not any information I'm giving away on this screen here. Because it is the metadata. I mean, even the location wouldn't matter. I was just at the beach. But yes, it's a good question. It's a good question, Miss Wee Lassie, of the metadata. We would have to have the original image taken from the phone to know if the metadata was attached to it. I'm not quite sure what kind of phone Candace and Dawn and all of them had. I know that it doesn't sound like they had like the nicest phones, and I know not every phone does that, at least to great detail, but it's possible. Oh, Allison coming in with the $10 super sticker saying #1 fan. Well, Allison, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you Thank you for being my number one fan. I am a fan of you all. Thank you. Especially everyone who has hit the like button. I bet Allison has, because Allison sent a super chat. You don't send super chats unless you've already hit the like button. So thank you to everyone for being here. Almost 500 people in here. Anyways, so it's kind of split right now. We have 43% people saying no, that they don't think summer was alive, and 57% say yes. So that's interesting. Kathy says, I would think that milk carton would be uncomfortable for any child to sleep on. I agree. Allison says, and I really appreciate you and Alicia. Oh, yes, Alicia. She is amazing. I very much appreciate Alicia and all that she does as well. All right. Anyways, so like I said, I wanted to go over that real quick and just say, that's some speculation as to not only as to whether or not she's alive in this video, but when the grandma apparently says that they were an hour and a half away when they took this. Now, you have to also know that Candace, they could have been mixing up, and I said this in my last stream, they could have been mixing up a time that they were like making a TikTok, for example, because Candace was known to use her phone and make little videos on TikTok often. So she could have been referring to another video that was taken when they were swimming or something, for example, that was an hour and a half prior. Twister, if you mod me, I can post the link, then you can unmod me. Do you have like Twitter or anything? You could DM it to me on Twitter or something. Or if there's any way to just send it to my email, I can give you my email right now. Sunflower says, see the original photo and video. Her nails are pink. Amy, also, no, hold on. I just want to say, I don't want it to sound like I'm excusing Candace, because let me tell you, I think that Candace is very suspicious. Look, if I just got on here and immediately told you what my thoughts were on all of this, it wouldn't be very productive. I just want to be a voice where we can all chat and kind of I can read what you guys are thinking. I can kind of interject a little bit of what I'm thinking. I don't also want to say for certain what I think, because it could come off wrong. But yeah. Twister, my email is right in the chat. It is my first. It is right there. I was going to pin it, but I'll just leave it right there. Also, I'm not. It's fine that my email's out there. People find my email in the about section of my YouTube all the time. Oh, Gavis is in here. Hey, Gavis, how's it going? Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you. I will be up in beautiful Canada tomorrow, my friend. How's the weather? I guess you're I think you're one province over from BC, or two. But thanks for being here. We're going through some Summer Well stuff. We're gonna go through some red flag stuff here towards the end of the stream. I think Candace is guilty, says Amy. Mark Twain, this is profoundly disturbing. Why have Summer sit on a pillow and not Hunter? They both. Well, okay, so we're gonna get to that in a second of the pillow thing, Ma, because there's something interesting there. Ginger Owl, Aaron tries to stay neutral and not give his opinion. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, because I know that, I mean, your opinions are, everyone has a right to their opinion, and it's not a problem for me to say what my opinion is. I'll get to it, but I don't want to go straight into it. What was this? Why did I have this link up? Oh, I think I was initially trying to search where they were looking, and this is the exact fence line in that video. This is just next to the church. So this is just right next to the church, just down the street from the Wells house. One of the things that sticks out to me from this interview that was conducted on June 16th, 2021, which is the day after Summer went missing, okay? This stood out to me as let's just listen, and I'll tell you. I'll give you my opinion in a moment.
What makes it so hard is the communication between the boots on the ground, searching the woods, and the different agencies and officers, and it's very hard to communicate.
So that was such a short moment of Sheriff Ronnie Lawson saying, let's listen to it again.
Searching the woods between, what makes it so hard is the communication between the boots on the ground, searching the woods, and the different agencies and officers, and it's very hard to communicate.
The first thing that you should have in order when you're about to go look for a child that is missing. Now, this is from June 16th, the day after she went missing. Can you guess what it's going to be based on what he just said there? In my opinion, the first thing that needs to be in order is communication. Okay. Now, I understand there were many agencies involved, many people, like he said, boots on the ground. You've got different people in different places searching in different areas for the same person. But what should be done first and foremost is the plan, the communication aspect, right? And then you have Sheriff Ronnie Lawson just saying, it's really hard, communication. It's like, I hope they communicated well and said, like, this is where we're going to be for the next hour. We're grid searching this field. You guys go figure this out over here. I hope there was like leads on each of the different sections and groups that were being, you know what I mean? Like, when I hear something like that, you kind of let it gloss over at times, like in some of these interviews, but that stood out to me. And it's just like, you're a day into this search. And he's just like, it's really hard to communicate with everyone. And like, not to be rude, but it's like, please, communication and organization, just like Cheryl says, is key, because the littlest, I mean, look at this, you guys. This is what they're looking at right now. This is massive. We don't realize how big and vast this area is when we just look at it on maps, right? We drop a pin down and we can see, even from this, it's hard to tell, but like just zooming into this hillside, it's just wooded and vast, and that is everywhere there. And so it frustrates me when, you know, they're a day into their search and he's like, yeah, it's really tough to communicate with everyone. And I get it. I'm sure it is, but maybe make sure you have that all in order. Gavis is doing a show. Okay, so Gavis is apparently doing a show tomorrow at 7 MST. Also, it's snowing. I saw your comment there, Gavis. Gavis, if you guys don't know, has covered. I found Gavis through covering the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case, and Gavis has gone on to cover multiple other cases. So if you guys want, and Gavis is very, very meticulous with the details, so much better than me. I get lost on tangents. Gavis is super solid with his timelines, not only his timelines, but like I said, his attention to detail. So Gavis, I won't be able to catch that because I'll be flying. However, I wish you luck. And for those who want to see Gavis's live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thanks for being here, Gavis. Okay, property line. We went through the property line. I was going to look into between Mount Carmel with the church, which we know is 1.5 miles from the house, right? Let's see. Yeah, 1.5 miles. How many properties are between Mount Carmel and the house? So this is the church. This is the property line. I wonder what this... So actually, there's a fair amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 properties in between on the south side of Beach Creek Road. And then 1, 2, 3. These are much bigger. 4, 5, 6, kind of 7 and 8. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell. And not that it, once again, matters too much for the sake of all of this. But anyways, moving on. So this next section of the video, let's see, and I'll check my email in a moment, Twister. Actually, we can do that now. Let me check my email, because if Twister was out there searching, that would be really cool to look into his YouTube. All right, yeah, here we go, Twister. Okay, the Meadows, search equipment. So are these all search videos, Twister? Okay, so we're gonna go to Twister's. So for those of you who are just joining, we are covering the Summer Wells case, and one of the viewers in the chat has informed me that they were part of some of the search efforts, and so I'm pulling up Twister's page. I guess I don't know him or her. I guess I'm pulling up their page right now. I think Twister said we're good to go through these videos, so I don't want there to be any issues. Okay, searching near chimney top. Let's just click this one. This looks like searching. And we might open up the lines, and here, I'll turn it down so we don't just have to hear you breathing. If there's chatting, I'll raise it up here. Not all are? Oh, okay, let me look into it. I don't know if this is November 2021. I assume this is probably a search. I'm a male. Nice. Okay. So yeah, this is near the beginning of November, which, we all know they started their search efforts back up at the end of November. You can see a lot of these leaves have fallen here. Man, we should definitely open the lines and talk to someone like Twister. That would be cool. All right, let's listen. Let's look at, hey, Twister, also, if there's a specific video that I should look at, let me know the title. Beach Creek, Ben Hill Road. Here's a drive-through video. We'll play this in just a moment. Sunflower May, I was explaining why they didn't want people helping the search. Oh, wait, were they? I was hoping. So were they not wanting people to help with the search, Sunflower? This is a video from Twister on Beach Creek. So it looks like just a time lapse, or just, 4.5, 5-minute video going down Beach Creek Road, Beach Creek, Ben Hill Road. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's obvious to see in the chat. Did I miss a super chat? I feel like if I missed a super chat, no, I don't think I did. Anyways, it's obvious to see that that there's so much deviation. Like the hills are very much prominent in your video, almost more so than the Google Maps Street View can even tell. I mean, you can tell in the Street View, but it's just so obvious how hilly it is there. I'm going to share a link to your channel in the chat, if that's okay, Twister. So anyone who is watching right now can click your channel. That channel that I just posted is a link to Twister's channel. If you click the videos, it looks like he has 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, about 24 videos. It looks like quite a few are searches in Hawkins. So we're not going to go through all of them today, but thank you, Twister. And if you're still on later when I open up the lines, I'd love to chat with you about what it was like to be there, what it was like to search. And like I said, if there's one specifically you want me to look into or to watch, let me know in the chat. But I'm going to move on to the next thing. Michelle Moore, I need to research more before I ask anything or have a thought. The mom seemed pretty honest on Dr. Phil. I figured if they did this, it was an accident, and if she was abducted, it had to do with drugs. I'm just based off what I'm seeing, Dr. Phil didn't look great for the mom, actually. Candace, anyways. What is Angela saying up here? Dobbs and Grandness took off at the same time as Summer missing. Yeah, it's suspicious how silent the grandma has been in all of this. Very, very, very interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Thanks again. Thanks again, Twister. Okay. So moving on to this next segment portion of the stream, I want to talk about kind of some red flag moments. Now, in this part of the stream, we're going to be referring to the interview room, Chris from the interview room, which if any of you have been following the story, the Summerwell story at all, you know that Chris has provided arguably some of the best content, not just in terms of video of the property, but interviews with Don, Candace here. This is from their property walk. I'll be linking him down below as well. And so I want to go through something here real quick. I just want to read JTube's comment, though. I have to say, guys, if there are any super chats that come through, they take precedence over what I'm saying, even though I know it breaks up a little bit of what we're talking about. People who donate actual money to this thing, I don't want this notification to go away. And so I want to read these comments and then keep moving on. But thank you, JTube, for the $10 super chat. Merry Christmas, Aaron and beautiful wife. It's time I gave you a gift after all your gifts to us. Oh, thank you. Hope you have a warm and wonderful time in Canada and a healthy, peaceful 2022. JTube, thank you so much. You as well, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for following along, not only on this story and all this live stream, but many of the others. It's been great to have you in the chat. Thanks again for the super chat. So this first section comes from the 20-minute and 46-second mark. And I think it was Holly. No, I don't know if it was Holly. Someone who was chatting about the addition to the house. And I wanted to cover that in this video because someone said something about they made an addition to the house, and that's very suspicious. They could be hiding people or Summer in the addition to the house. And so I want to play this section of Chris's video, and then I will show you guys a couple things afterwards.
So what's this little
Oh, that right there?
little cave thing there?
That's not really a cave. Actually, we built this addition, me and Donnie and the kids.
Oh, okay.
And we left this part open because the dog, at the time we did have little puppies. These dogs were little puppies. And we let them go under there. They would run in and out of the bricks over there. There's actually 7 pups up under there now.
Okay.
And it's always been open like that.
So he referenced, he pointed out this hole in, underneath the new addition to the house. And you can see very simply here, or very clearly rather, that this part of the house to the left is part of the initial or the original house, and everything you see to the right is an addition that they made after the fact. And so you've got, this gap in the foundation underneath, and then, she says that they use that for the dogs to be able to go out, back and forth. But if we keep playing from that point, you can see when he comes around the corner, you can see an AC unit, and it's kind of hard to see. If I move the video down there, you can see it a little bit better. There's an AC unit coming out of that addition to the house. And if we scroll forward even more, you can see, it doesn't take much. We're going to have, oh no, why'd the video just end? Oh, it's an ad. It's an ad. Okay, 1 second. You know what I could do? I could just show it real quick. Here, I have the photo. No, I'll pull it up the way I was going to before. So at the beginning of the interview, before they go into as they go into the house, this is that new addition to the house. Okay, so right here, they've got the little scaffolding stairwell that they're using to get into the house. You can tell it's like this wood. They didn't finish the outside of the house. And then when he steps into it, the exposure on his camera is going to change, and we're going to be able to see it a little bit better. Right here. So there's the AC unit that I was talking about that you could see from the outside. So that hole in the ground when they were on the back side of the house is actually underneath this part of the house here. They were on the back side of this wall here. And if you look, this is the two images side by side. Okay, so it's on the left side of this house. They went through the door just over here on the right. If I move this over a little bit. And then, of course, that would be on the left side when looking into the house, right? So that is that there, and it all checks out. So that's the AC unit. I don't believe there's really anywhere to hide anything other than underneath this. Of course, there's places to hide inside the house. It's very dirty. There are many nooks and crannies that you could hide things, but I don't think she's inside some wall in the addition to the house. People were commenting on that being a possibility. I don't think that's the case. Moving on to the next part comes at the 24-minute and 52-second section of the video, talking about the grandma's camper.
And this is Mom's trailer right here?
This is my mom's camper.
Okay. Okay. And these are the flowers.
Yeah.
With her little...
Okay, so that was the camper. And then, I was just curious as to what kind of camper this was. And it was very easy to see the logo, the brand. And so I looked this brand up online. And I found the exact same camper right here. So if we cycle between them, I geek out about this stuff, guys, just because I want to imagine everything to the fullest. I mean, this is give or take a year or two. This is either 2006 or 2007 Amerilite Gulfstream RV. And if I play this full screen, I'm going to just continue chatting for a moment while we see the tour. So if you guys want to see what it looks like inside the grandma's van, this is going to be a very clean version of that. I would imagine, based on the house, that the grandma's van was probably pretty dirty, pretty messy, unless the grandma just was a much cleaner person. But this is what it would look like on the inside. And I just want to say thank you all so much for hitting the like button. There's 676 people in here, 686 people in here. Half of you have hit the like button, 329 likes. If everyone in here right now hits that like button, that will help the stream get out to more people. I would greatly appreciate it. So we're at 329 likes now. Let's try to get to 400. I know we can do it. Thank you guys very, very much. This guy's pointing out some water damage in this particular trailer here, and we're not going to focus on this for very long. But I just, like I said, I geek out on this. So this would be kind of a shell, or at least the layout of the grandma's trailer, right? It's nothing crazy. It's a bed on a frame. You've got a sink, a stove. I don't know if she was connected to water in there or not. And then if you go to the other side, you've got little shelves and all that. There's a little bench seating next to the door, and then a bathroom. Now, I don't know the bathroom situation, but this guy's just trying to sell this trailer. But this is what the grandma's trailer would look like on the inside. So not to stick on that for too long, but I did just want to mention it. JTube says, have you ever had to use your mod powers to delete someone's comments when they get a little bit too provocative? Alicia commented yes. Cheryl says, we like geeky Aaron geeky. Thank you. Also, yeah, not bad for a small size of RV. I think it's a pretty nice little RV, right? I like small little setups like that, though. Oh my gosh, how many tabs? Nella, I have so many tabs opened up right now. If I move this down, let me move it up so you don't see all these tabs. I'm telling you, the prep for these streams can be pretty intense sometimes. I was prepping yesterday for this, so I would be able to just jump right in today. Guys, it makes me sad if this is really the final search for summer. I get that they can't spend forever. It just makes me so sad. Okay, so Kelsey, I should clarify again for the 500 people that are in here now that weren't in here at the beginning when I was talking about why this is called the final search. It's the final search because this is my last live stream for the new year, until the new year. And so this is the last time I will be jumping into the case. It's by no means the final search for summer. We will, of course, jump back onto this story in the new year, especially if there's more to talk about. But in terms of coming up on the holiday, it's the last time we're going to be going over it on the channel. So the next thing I want to go over is from the same video from the interview room from Chris. It's at the 22-minute and 30-second mark. And it is one of the red flags from the video that I believe is what I believe is a red flag. And let me go ahead and pull this up and play.
Now, what's this little shed over here?
Oh, that one there?
Yeah.
That's where Donnie keeps all his tools.
Got it.
Oh, cool. Cool. More ads. I had all these.
The person who wants to do every.
I got all these links pulled up. And then I slept last night, and they've just been sitting there. So, of course, they're going to run ads again. Okay.
Look.
Let me play that again.
Now, what's this little shed over here?
Oh, that one there?
Yeah.
That's where Donnie keeps all his tools.
Got it.
Oh, my gosh. I'm not showing the video because of the ad. You guys were able to hear it, though.
Now, what's this little shed over here?
Oh, that one there?
Yeah.
That's where Donnie keeps all his tools.
Got it. Hey, can I go look?
You
No?
can go look, but it's a mess.
No? Okay. Now, it's up to...
Okay, so the thing there, and I know there's a lot of speculation. A lot of people think that Dawn was hiding in that shed during this. She says, you know, what's in that shed over there? Candace says, it's where Donnie keeps his tools. Chris follows up with, can I go look? Candace responds, you can go look, but it's a mess. Now, I talked about this earlier. If the shed is a mess and she doesn't want him to go look inside the shed because it's a mess, why? It must be a disaster compared to the house. Because once again, not to be rude, but the house was a disaster. And I know for those who maybe didn't see it, like the house, like this is the living room of the house where apparently the boys were playing Minecraft or watching TV. I don't know exactly what it was confirmed that they were doing. She was, you know, she let Chris come into the house, but wouldn't let him go into the shed. And so the shed thing sticks out to me. Nella, exactly. The tools equals cooking something. Maybe. I know that they've had issues with drugs in the past. Once again, I don't want to assume something, but it's like, come on. Like the shed, if it's just got tools in it, you should be able to show someone, right? So the shed thing to me is, it's a little strange. Okay, moving on to the next red flag. That was loud. Motorcycles. Many motorcycles. 2847. So the next part of the video that was a red flag to me, which someone brought it up earlier, was the pillow. Okay, the pillow on the seat. So let's go over this part real quick. Miss Wee Lassie says maybe she knew Dawn had potentially stolen stuff in there and didn't want CM seeing it. Possibly. All right. This is from the 28-minute and 42-second mark of the same interview.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm just...
He asked me for a Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I got him a Mountain Dew.
Okay, so this actually we can listen to this part. I went too far back, but she's talking about the twisted tea that she supposedly bought for Hunter.
You gave him a tea.
He didn't ask me for nothing.
Okay, I'm just...
He asked me for a Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I got him a Mountain Dew.
Okay, where did the orange crush come from on the seat with Summer?
That was my mom's. She was drinking that and then didn't want no more of it.
And what about the candy on the seat?
That candy's been in there.
Okay. And what about the pillow?
The pillow? What pillow?
Oh, she's sitting on a pillow.
Mom gets mad because if the kids get in their wet bathing suit and stuff, so I just put the pillow underneath her so Mom wasn't complaining.
Got it. Okay.
The pillow thing's weird, and it's just because apparently she changed Summer into dry clothing. And it makes sense that the grandma would get mad if you don't, because apparently they were in the grandma's truck. So that would make sense. If the grandma doesn't want kids sitting on the truck seat with wet swimsuit, I get that. Why would you soak a pillow as opposed to getting, I mean, a towel makes more sense, or even the clothes, like another set of clothes or something underneath it. The pillow doesn't make sense to me at all. But she was a little bit, I don't know. It doesn't, the way she handled that question and fielded that question was just a little bit odd. Michelle Moore says it'd be normal for a child's head to fall on the milk. That's not suspicious to me. Yeah, some people aren't as suspicious about the milk. Also, Breed Love says there is a video of inside the shed. There is a large red toolbox and odd stuff. No sign of drug making or moonshine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when that video was that came out about with the shed, but I just think it's odd that day of she wasn't wanting him to go in there. Also, thanks for 400 likes. We have almost 800 people in here. Pretty much half of you have hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. Let's try to get to 500 next. We're almost there. Let's listen to that one more time. What do you guys think of that?
Right. Okay. So, right.
That's not what I remember.
What about, he said that, okay.
I got him a Mountain Dew.
Okay. Where did the orange crush come from on the seat with Summer?
That was my mom's. She was drinking that and then didn't want no more of it.
And what about the candy on the...
So, sorry for pausing it. That was her mom's. She didn't want it anymore. Okay. Now we're talking about this orange crush right here. And then the candy, she said, was there. Okay. Let's keep rolling.
Sheet.
Okay. Oh, that candy's been in there.
Okay. Okay. And what about the pillow?
The pillow? What pillow?
Oh, she's sitting on a pillow.
She's shit. Oh, Mom gets mad because if the kids get in their wet bathing suit and stuff, so I just put the pillow underneath her so Mom wasn't complaining.
Got it.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm once again not trying to stir anything up here, but it seems like, and it's like also that's actually a perfectly fine reason for not sitting on the seat. It just doesn't make sense because apparently she changed out of her swimsuit. So was she just in dry clothes at that point? I don't know. I don't know. I just figured I'd mention it. Once again, I'm just kind of going through a whole bunch of stuff today since I have so many messages, people wanting me to like cover little things like the remodel of the house and just all these different things. The next thing is probably one of the more, not concerning, but just possibly one of the more concerning things. And it comes at the 29:59 section of the same video. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit play.
Yeah. And
Okay, come show me.
What's up?
That's all right.
And I just recently found out that there was like, I guess he's a child molester.
Okay.
That lived like literally 8 minutes from my house, and he can literally walk from his house into my house within 8 minutes.
Okay.
And like that bushy area right there, you can't really tell if anybody's crouched down there or anything.
She's calling out this bushy area, and she's like, you wouldn't be able to tell if someone was crouched around down there. And to me, I'm thinking, you wouldn't be able to see anyone anywhere. The whole house is built on a hill that is surrounded, it just slopes down in every direction. So yeah, the bush, the trees, I mean, this tree right here, you wouldn't be able to see if someone was hiding on this side of the tree. So it's like, the fact that she called out the bush is a little bit weird, but then she calls out somebody that lives within, and she said 5 minutes, I think. Let's listen one more time about a child molester.
That there was like, I guess he's a child molester.
Okay.
That lived like literally 8 minutes from my house, and he can literally walk from his house into my house within 8 minutes.
Okay.
So let's look into that. I have, of course, as we do, we dive in a little bit. And I found the nearest child predator, sexual predator in the area, which this is public information. Now, I kind of wanted to ask you guys, and I'm going to end this previous poll. I'm not going to do a poll here, but I do I am curious if you guys think that clicking on this red dot, so this is where that child predator lives that is reported. The area where Candace, we'll show the map in a moment. I have another tab with the map, but 8 minutes. Okay. They're saying an 8-minute walk from this child predator. Is it okay for me to click this and to show? I don't think I should do this, but let me know what your guys' thoughts are on like the ethics, not the ethics, but just, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I can click this. There are many, many details about this predator, like the type of car that he drives, what he is, why he's a predator. I took the screen off, but I can read into that if you guys want me to. I don't know if it's valuable information. But this man, his record shows that his offense first started in 2015, sexual exploitation of a minor. And then in 2017 and 2018, 3 more. He has sexual exploitation of a minor in April of 2017, April of 2018, sexual exploitation of a minor, and then another charge in April of 2016. A lot of people are saying, yeah, it's public info. Here's what I'll do. For now, I'm just going to show you the distance between that area and that his house. This is just called Sullivan County School District. It's not his address, but when you compare it to the map data on here, Orville Light Road, which I think I just showed the guy, by the way. And it's fine. I'm not too concerned about it. But it's right here on Orville Road. If you were to walk, this is where Candace is off on her story. She says that he could walk from his house to her house in 8 minutes. Now, if you took the road, it's saying on Google that it would be a 42-minute walk. It's a 2.1 mile route. I guess if you went this way down Beach Creek and then through the trees here, you could be at their house probably a bit quicker. It looks like a straight line would be a much easier route there. But I would assume that this is who she's referring to. Now, she may have been getting it mixed up. It isn't an 8-minute walk. However, it is a 6-minute drive. So within 8 minutes, he could have been from his house to the Wells house. Oh my gosh, we have another Amy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, Amy. Thank you so much. All right, what's everyone saying? What's everyone saying here? Also, let's get to 500 likes, everyone. We can do it. We can do it. Also, Billy Ruiz. I would be a mod if you need another. Oh, thank you so much. I'm not entirely sure. I am going to be chatting with Alicia after the new year to talk about like goals for the channel and just kind of what my goals are for the channel too, and how much I'm going to be wanting to do this. I'm going to do this probably into the new year quite a bit. And so we'll definitely see. I have your info. I'm going to take a screenshot of your profile and I will keep you in mind. Thank you so much for the super chat, Billy. Let's see. Michelle says she would definitely have gotten things mixed up. Yeah, and I agree. So I think this is probably the sexual predator that Candace is referring to that was within 8 minutes. I don't think she meant an 8-minute walk. So what's unfortunate is that if you zoom out, they're everywhere. Okay, so this is the one that's near their house. I mean, there's another one here. There's another one here. There's another one here. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. So it's very, very unfortunate. The interview room. Wonderful, wonderful. We're done with the interview rooms YouTube channel for now. Almost 900 in chat. Oh my goodness. So let's open up the phone lines, shall we? Let's open up the phone lines. So the way this is going to work is you can call the Google Voice number that Alicia will be posting here shortly. And if you would like to call in, your number does not show up on screen. In fact, I don't even see your number. I just see the first 3 digits of your number. It is not my number that you're calling. This is not my personal number. It's just a Google Voice number that comes through my computer. Alicia's going to post it. If you guys want to call in, specifically some of the people that maybe have been searching in the area. I know we had a few people in the chat earlier that were, we had Twister that was in here, Michelle Moore, I believe, a few others that know the area at the very least. I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are about the case, just about the area in general. So yeah, feel free to call in. Alicia can post, if she is still in the chat, Alicia can post that whenever. Yeah, phone lines are now open. Thank you so much, Alicia. So that's the number right there, 305-985-2690. It's just first come, first serve. So if you call and I don't answer, or if I'm in another call, you'll just have to try to call right when I finish my next call. So we'll just wait for the first call to come in. We're going to try to limit each call to about 3 to 4 minutes. So I may cut you off in the middle of what you're talking about just to give others a chance to call in. And then, of course, feel free to call back in if you'd like. If for some reason I get off of another call, you can always call a second time. But I want to limit it to a few minutes for the first time calling. Do I have more coffee? Oh, I do. Oh, this is great. Oh, Mimi, you're back. Hello, Mimi. Good to see you back in the chat. Oh, we already have a call coming in, guys. 831. Let's answer this.
Call from.
Call
to
from
accept,
who knows?
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
831. How's it going?
Good, well, thank you.
Good.
Am I on air?
You are, yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, this isn't related to the sexual predators, but more so the photo. And my thought on that is, and always has been, that with the change of the clothing, then I started to look at the clothing more readily, and I think that she looks really swollen for her legs. And I did a little research on, I don't remember what it's called, but the second whatever drowning. It will, your legs will, your body will kind of fill with water. I feel like you look at her legs there compared to when she's dancing or if she's in a bathing suit from a prior, video or what have you. It absolutely doesn't add up to me.
So say again what
I always thought that was something that wasn't really mentioned often or even hadn't heard mentioned that I thought was noteworthy.
Yeah, say again what you're referencing in the photo. I just pulled it back up. You're talking about the photo of her in the back of the car, correct?
Yeah. I think when you look at her photo and you use it against the other photos and videos, she is a tiny little, beautiful thing. And her legs in that photo are quite swollen in my eyes as compared to how we see her every other time.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they were her brother's pants. I mean, the color, I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me. The size of, even I know when you sit down, let your thighs get bigger, but to me it's still, and it just doesn't. It still seems very swollen.
Right. Yeah. No, I guess I didn't. Man, see, this is the thing. I'm looking at all the details of like what's in the image, but I wasn't even thinking about matching like her her body shape. Because you're very right. She is a really thin. She's got a very thin frame, and her legs do look thin in some of those videos. I'm trying to pull up one of the previous one of the videos I've seen previously of her dancing. But yeah, that's a good point.
Dancing. And then there's a photo of her. I mean, there's a video of her to a prior visit at the Holder, where she's climbing up the side and she's in a bathing suit, and even the bathing suit's like falling off of her. There's no, in my eyes, I don't, it's just one of the first things that like I saw that it just doesn't add up.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. Well, yeah, and thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, we definitely don't need to talk about the, we can go in all different directions on these calls. So I'm glad you pointed that out because that was something I definitely I hadn't heard anyone comment on that yet. Yeah.
You know, neither have I, and that's I think why I phoned in. I'm nervous on the phone here, but
you're
I
good.
just think that it's like not an obvious thing to look for in the photo. I mean, to look for how she holds her hands and if that's typical with what somebody alive or not, or how do all these things, the pallor and such, is understood. And it seems sometimes like we tend to miss the obvious when looking for the intricacies, you know?
Yes, that is a great point, is, overlooking, you could possibly be overlooking something that's right in front of you. So that's amazing. And don't be nervous to call in. Feel free to call in anytime. Everyone in the chat is saying that they also agree. They're agreeing with you, thinking that they also think that her legs do look a little bit more bloated there, swollen. And yeah, I mean, like you said, sometimes when you're sitting, that naturally happens. So you never know, but that's a good thing to point out.
I remember the comment by Hunter when he was being interviewed, I believe, or another, I've watched several, but he talked about holding her hand and saying she was cold. I don't know if that was in relation to before or what. I didn't pay attention then, and I couldn't remember where I had heard it, so I didn't review it. But that him mentioning that was key. And if Allison, I have two babies when they were little, if they love somebody and they're in the back of the car, you stop the car, even just stopping a car, kids will wake up. And she was older than even a toddler, so she would be more aware. I think, and I hate feeling this. I mean, it breaks my heart to say this with conviction because I so much don't want it to be true. But I feel like she would have recognized Allison's voice, and woken up. And especially if she had to say goodbye to Hunter. I hate that I think this, but those are just my 2 points there on that. And I recently saw that he's super traumatized, and granted, Hunter has many reasons to be traumatized because it's just being there that day. But to the point where it's being, and anyhow, I just feel like all that in conjunction, unfortunately, leads me to, think this is something that should be looked into.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks so much for calling in, and yeah, I appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you so much. You're awesome at this. You're doing wonderfully.
Thank you so much, and happy holidays to you.
You as well.
All right.
And you're right. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, the lines are still open. Thank you for that call. That was an amazing call. She pointed out some really interesting things there, and I actually pulled up Candace's TikTok as she was chatting to kind of maybe try to find some other videos of Summer running around that we can maybe, oh my gosh, she's zooming in all over the place here. I'm not sure which swimsuit video she was talking about, but, and you know what, she's also a growing girl. So even like 6 months difference, she could be, half a foot taller and all these different things. She's a very young child that could look a little bit different even a few months apart. Not vastly though. So that's a good thing to point out with the legs there. I know some of you were also commenting that you thought the same thing. The lines are still open if you'd like to call in. I'm going to read some of the chat here. The line, the line if you want to call in is 305-985-2690. Once again, it's just a Google Voice number. You'll call straight in. We'll chat for a few minutes. Let me know what you guys think of this case, just in general, and we can go back and forth. And thank you to the 900 people that are in here. We haven't hit 1,000 on a stream in a while, and I feel like we're getting close. And the way to do that is to get the stream out to more people. Like I said before, the way to do that is to hit the like button. It's a weird thing, you guys, I know, to ask all the time, but it really helps the channel. The YouTube algorithm favors and pushes videos out that are highly liked. So hit the like button. Let's try to get to 600 likes now, since we're past the 500 mark. And I'm sure that we'll get pushed out to more new people. So if you're new here, I know that there's been a couple comments that I've seen. People have said that they're just finding the channel. Hello to all the new people. Thanks for being here. Let's read some of these comments. Twister says, I changed my name from Twister to TNT Twister. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. Vicky, hello. How's it going? The interview with said she couldn't be 100% without the body in person. Oh, gotcha. Can you zoom in on her fingers? Her nails look discolored. Yeah, let's do a screenshot here. Let's screenshot this photo. It's going to be kind of hard. Actually, you know what? Let me go to this real quick. Chris Lee says, I'm new. Welcome, Chris Lee. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when we go live. My 3 sons' mom. Your channel just popped up. I've never been here. Oh, well, welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, I'm going to try to find the best spot to pause the video to where we can see her hands the most. That was it really at the beginning, and they don't go back to her. So I already got the screenshot. Let's cue it up. Looks like someone was asking the number. Alicia kindly just dropped it again, 305-985-2690. Feel free to call in. I'm going to zoom in on the hands here as requested by you all. Joyce. Oh, we got a call coming in. I'll do this while I'm chatting with the person. Once again, we'll keep them right around 3 to 4 minutes.
Kelsey.
Kelsey's
To
calling
accept,
in.
press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Kelsey, how's it going?
Am I live?
You are live. Welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness. Hi everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Just came in to drop my 2 cents, just as someone who follows your channel. She looks alive in that picture. I know I see a lot of people, giving their 2 cents in the comment, but I don't know, she looks asleep. She looks alive. I hope in a twisted way I'm wrong about this. I think it was maybe some kind of negligent accident or something, some kind of negligence that happened. Candace, who I could be wrong about this, but allegedly she's had some issues with drug addiction in the past. Maybe she thought, oh, the boys are going to get taken. We got to cover this up.
Yeah.
And in a twisted way, I hope I'm wrong in the sense that maybe if she was sold off or kidnapped, God forbid, she's still alive maybe. But I don't know. Something just really, is telling me that it was unfortunate, like a really just heartbreaking, really heartbreaking.
So you're kind of in the camp of a potential accident, maybe even swimming, or because you think she's alive in this photo, which I think it's pretty split though. I know I just saw some comments coming through when you were saying that, and Kay even says, I see just a sleeping child in this photo, nothing more. And so there are a lot of people on either side, but with the whole accident theory, do you think it could have been the swimming thing or potentially something else? Do you have any more thoughts on it besides that, or?
I'm not super knowledgeable on the I think it's called the dry drowning, or when I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but I think we all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she even passed in her sleep on the way home. I'm not sure about how exactly it goes down when someone passes from that. But yeah, I just wanted to call in and drop my 2 cents, say hey, and thank you so much for running these videos. And hello, chat.
Yes. Thank you so much for calling. And definitely an interesting point. And yeah, the dry drowning, I have it pulled up right here. I think it's called a couple different things. So I'll leave this up on the screen for a little while, but I feel like that's kind of where I'm at with everything right now, is that, like you said, potentially didn't want the whole family to just get completely, taken away from them, all these things. They've had the issues with drugs and alcohol in the past. It sounds like they were trying here and there to get their lives turned around, much like a lot of people in those cases. And so something like this would be detrimental in, with that. I mean, this would, because given the conditions that they were already in, it just would not have looked good if someone in the family passed and then, that everything would be taken away. And so it also doesn't make sense why they would be just so quiet about it if it was just an accident too, and so it's tough. It's hard to, I don't know. I kind of think it's an accident too, but I don't know. But I appreciate you calling in, and we'll see you in a future stream, and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Awesome. I think was that Kelly? I think that was Kelly. I always blank on the names in the middle of the call. I'm like, wait, who am I talking to? But thank you for that call. I don't know what to make of the photo either. She brought up the photo. Many of you guys are, asking me to zoom in, and I was kind of doing that while she was on the phone there. The lines are back open, by the way, if anyone wants to hop in. Oh, there we go. But I'm not seeing anything crazy in here either. I'll go into that in a moment.
Call from
Eve.
Eve, I think.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, is this Eve?
Yes, hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for calling.
Sure. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. I think that it's very odd that the milks are stacked against a box as well. A lot of people don't really talk about the box too much, but there's a brown box right beside it, and I just think that that's very odd. And not to mention that it looks like the milk is dented in where her head is, and it just makes me feel like there's something wrong with that. I put my face to a jug of milk after leaving it out for about 15, 20 minutes and put it against my face. And I couldn't take it more than 2 minutes.
Okay, that's an interesting. Wow, so you went as far as doing a field test here with a scenario-based test. Wow, okay. And actually, I'm
I left it out.
Oh, sorry. I'm pulling up another photo on the stream. I know it's going to be delayed for you to see, but for the chat, I have a different photo I'm pulling up to where you can see that box a little bit clearer. But continue on, because it also looks like the milk carton is on another big gallon of milk that's possibly sideways. But sorry to cut you off.
Right.
What were you going to say?
I wanted to make sure that I put the milk out, and I'm in Texas, so it was pretty hot that day.
Yeah.
And so I put it outside for 15 minutes and then put it up to my face. And I couldn't take it for more than 2 minutes. So that's why I'm kind of wondering how she could do that as a child. I do know that they can sleep like anywhere. I have a toddler, but it's just still suspect to me that. And not to mention one more thing, there is a stain. There's a stain close below the seatbelt area. And I did a little bit of contrast and exposure difference, and it really pops out when you do that. So that's another thing that kind of looks like a stain, and it gets more red whenever you change the exposure, but that's how it works. So
on like the waistband part of the seatbelt, like above the waist.
It's yes.
Okay.
Below on the bottom.
Okay. Okay, I think I might even just see without even adjusting the image kind of what you're talking about there. So I might have to do that as well. It's one of those things. It's like we're taking a screenshot from a video, so it's so hard to, there's artifacts in video. Video is kind of my background in anyways, and so when people ask me to look at images and say, do her fingers look blue here? It's like, yeah, sometimes, but also like shadows can sometimes, like with these phones, they digitally will try to enhance images, and sometimes that will result in like a bluish hue in shadows, and so that can actually make things look blue, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the color of the skin tone. And so it's hard to analyze these sometimes when you know that there could be just discrepancies in the video because of just the quality of the video anyways. But that's an interesting point. And I mean the milk carton thing, for example, you said the dented in. Yeah, I mean her whole side of her face, like above the ear, looks like it's touching the milk carton, right? It's not like she's just kind of against it. So yeah, that would be pretty cold, actually. I wasn't even thinking about that, like how cold that would be.
Yeah, if anybody just like takes milk out for 10 minutes, just 10,
right,
and puts it up to your face, I guarantee you you're going to want to take it off within at least a minute or two. It was hard for me. But, toddlers are resilient, and they, after a day of swimming, I could understand why she would just pass out. It's just the way that everything's set up that was the suspect. Mm-hmm. And what Candace said, too. Did you get it? No. Well, I thought her arm was up.
Yeah,
I was just trying to catch that. That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't even comment on that tonight. Yeah, because she had tried to make the comment that, like, when her arm's in a certain place, it's like a funny thing that they try to capture. Is that what they normally said? Or do you remember what they said the reason was behind that?
Candace said that she was trying to get a capture of her arm a certain way because that's how Dawn sleeps. But
okay, yeah, that's right.
That's just so far-fetched to me. Like, why would you want to risk your life driving?
Driving on the highway.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
No,
I'm glad you brought that up. And yeah, it resulted in me finding a better image, a better still of this milk with the box, like you said, stacked there. Just now I'm just like, I can't stop looking at this, and I kind of want to do the milk thing myself and just see how uncomfortable that is. But yeah.
Well, and that box is scary to me. Like, that box could fall over, like one wrong move or one harsh turn, and that box to me could topple. And that's dangerous. So if anything, it's negligent to let her, sit that way.
Yeah, because the box is clearly on something as well. It doesn't look like the box runs all the way to the floor, the seat. So it's not like it's grounded on the seat. It's like above another thing. You can see the corner of the bottom of the box. So yeah, you're right. If one, turned to one side, it could easily topple. And even if it's just a box with, some groceries in it, it could still cause some sort of damage, or even just cause a wreck. Like if something were to fall, that could, any number of things, if something falls on a sleeping child. But yeah, also, do you make anything of the back part of the seatbelt being behind her instead of in front of her?
Well, okay, to me,
what are your thoughts on that?
I think, so if there was something suspicious going on, if the seatbelt was in front of her, that would get in the way of the milk jug setup. So I think that it would mess with that, and that's maybe why. But other than that, kids just don't like seatbelts around them because, the way that it sets on them, because it's made for grown-ups, older people. So that one's kind of, but my guess is that it would affect the way that this is set up for her to be propped up on.
That's true.
If it was,
Interesting. Okay.
I wish Candace would have finished her thought. Oh, well, I was just trying to capture that butt. Like, I wish we could hear the rest of that, because that would have been really helpful.
Yeah. Are you talking about the pillow, like her being on the pillow, or which part?
No, when Candace says, when whoever's beside her, which I'm assuming is Grandma Candace,
gotcha,
when she says, did you get it? Did you grab it? Her arm? She goes, no. Well, that's what I was trying to catch. But I wish she could have finished that thought, and we could have captured that. That would have helped.
Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about from the actual video. Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of people in the chat are saying the same thing. They're enjoying this part of the conversation, and I think, like the previous caller was saying, sometimes looking at what's right in front of us is the answer, right? It could just, we could find something that just at the very least sticks out as odd, right? So sometimes just looking too deep into something can go, you're not looking at what's right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it's good just to look at this a bit more.
It gives me alibi vibes. Like I need an alibi.
Right. Get a video. Exactly. Like get a video of her. Yeah. It doesn't help when she's talking about the position of her body though in the video. So yeah, that's major red flags for sure.
Yep, that's all I have. Thank you so much for letting me talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for calling in. Have a happy holidays, and thanks for being in on the stream.
You as well.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. That was a great call. Once again, KC also says, good point, Aaron. Where's the pillow? I don't know where the pillow is unless in the interview room, the video from Chris from the interview room, he may have been talking about the interview he did with Hunter, because Hunter may have said it in that one that she was on a pillow. But in this photo, we don't see it. Gavis says she was trying to take a picture. She was sleeping like her dad, but she took a video. Yeah, Gavis. I'm aware of that because, yeah, it was the grandma that apparently took the photo, and it was just a quick 3-second video.
Call from
Amy.
That's why it was so quick.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, who's calling? I didn't catch the name.
Hi, Aaron. It's Amy. I could only be a few minutes. Okay?
Oh, it's okay, Amy. Thanks for calling.
Hi, you're welcome. You really can't do a proper assessment of whether she is alive or not alive. Because it's hard to really examine. Because I'm a nurse, and it's hard for me to really look at her lips. You know, I can't tell if they're blue. Because if someone has no oxygen, they're going to have cyanosis to their lips. And also, you can't tell with the nail beds. It's very hard to check that out. It's usually when someone is gone. Especially if someone's drowning or they have hypoxia, you're going to see the blueness around the lips. But just a quick thing. I'm going to be judgmental. You don't want to be neutral, but I'm not very neutral, Aaron.
That's okay.
I'm looking. Some stuff came out on Candace today that she was arrested in Wisconsin on child abuse charges, and there's a lot of other charges that Don Wells has had from different states. And as well, and they found he had another charge in Hillsborough County, Florida. That's another thing you could look into. But if I have to base on people's history and their past behavior, I'm going to state these people are guilty as HE double hockey stick.
Yeah.
And I think that this could be an alibi picture. But there's too many inconsistencies. It doesn't make sense to dress somebody in those kinds of clothes. It shows lack of care in the parenting, that she doesn't care about her child. And and the fact that they've had pictures of these kids not eating, looking emaciated, dirty, not taking proper medical care, and the fact that that the child abuse charge was for her other set of children in Wisconsin. So based on behavior, past behavior, I don't believe any of that, and there's too many inconsistencies, and we have to look at the initial Hunter interview. He's trying. So that these are things you have to go back to the basics. And I was watching another YouTube channel of a woman out of Eastern Tennessee. I don't need to plug her because I'm not going to plug on your show.
That's
but
okay.
I believe that she says that all of the timeline and the travel from one place to the next doesn't make sense, because going to wherever the Walgreens back to the house is a much longer drive. So Candace is making a lot of stuff up. She's speaking out of her where. So that's. I don't believe anything what she said. Just too many inconsistencies, and as I said, based on their past behavior, I think they're guilty as you know what. So
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Well, thank you so much for your knowledge on that.
And be safe. Have a good holiday.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes. You as well.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love the honesty. And and she also says, she can't say for certain on things, right? When we're looking at the photo of Summer in the back of the car, we can all speculate on what we think, but I like that even a professional coming in is saying you can't say for certain.
Carrie.
We have Carrie on the line.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Carrie, how's it going?
Going good. How are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for calling.
Yes, I wanted to speak about the picture of baby Summer. Well, she's not a baby, but a girl Summer. On the top of the picture, there's a like a brown and black area, and to me that looks like someone's arm. Over the seat.
Oh.
Can you see that?
Is it on the side that's closest to Summer, on like the left side of the photo, or on the?
Yes, on the left side of the photo, and right on top, you can see like a brown, like someone's arm, part of their arm, and it's over the seat, like behind the seat.
I think I see exactly what you're seeing now. Yeah, like almost. Yeah.
Okay, that, and then whenever Candace took that picture, I mean, whoever was in the car passenger seat, they took that picture or that video, and everyone says, well, it sounds like a man's voice, but they say, no, that's Granda's voice. But then I was wondering if Hunter was in the back seat, you know, and he said no when they said, well, is her arm still up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was wondering if the voice that says no, if that was Hunter or a man sitting in the back seat, because it looks like someone's T-shirt and then their arm. And then also, there's, I don't know the word, but there's the word for this medical, it's a medical term that doctors use when someone has just passed away and they go into the sudden rigor mortis, you know, like and their arms
stiffen
go straight
up
out.
and yeah.
And that lasts a few minutes, and then they go, you know, then they release. And so I was wondering if they were trying to, you know, take that picture. And if you look underneath the seatbelt, there's like a little area that appears to me to be wet.
Yeah. The previous caller had mentioned that as well. I couldn't quite tell if that was just a shadow or if it was wet. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Okay, and then on her nail beds, she does look cyanotic on her nail beds.
And explain. So I'm unaware of that. Is that where does it turn more white underneath the nail beds?
No, your nail beds. Yeah, your nail beds, they start to turn blue.
Blue. Okay.
Yeah, like when you're near death. But then again, it can happen if you're really cold. You can kind of see your nail beds kind of blue. So that looks like she has cyanosis on her nail beds, you know, and on her ear, her to us it's the one on the left that's leaning on the milk jug. Yeah, it looks a little blue to me. And a little bit on her lips too, just under on her left side of her lip, on the bottom lip. You can kind of see like a little swelling or maybe some, blueness.
Yeah.
So I've been analyzing it, and then on her the hoodie, on her sweater. I mean, not sweater, but her jacket. It looks like as if someone pulled it out from behind her. You know what I mean? So I don't know, that's what I noticed, on all of that. I just wanted to be quick about it and mention it all, because you got to analyze it. But then I've also, I've listened to a lot of creators, YouTube creators, and I've listened to a lot of psychics. I know a lot of people are skeptics. But I've been comparing them for over a year, and there's about maybe 2, maybe 3 that are accurate. And the ones that were not, the ones that are accurate all say that, just a minute, there's a little kid in the room. Please go over there, I'll call you when I'm done, okay? Hurry. Sorry, my grandbaby.
You're all right.
Came in, he's looking for something. Okay, well, close the door, please. Okay. Well, anyway, the psychics have, they've said that either, it's so graphic, but that someone had stabbed her with a knife, or that she was impaled in some way. And I know people are going to be upset, but, I've been researching the psychics that are on YouTube and comparing, because I want to know who's accurate, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I figured out a couple of them that are, and I've seen a lot. But anyway, could everything be the way it's set up to cover up, body fluids?
I don't know.
The way it's all set up, the boxes, that, and then they
Right.
say there was a pillow under her maybe to absorb, and then she's got this.
I mean, it's a
jacket
sweater
on.
in June, right? Yeah, I've definitely heard that
Yeah.
as well. And I mean, yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I
Yeah.
know she was changing out of what she was swimming in, and so maybe this was the only dry clothes that they had. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but
Yeah, and kids get cold. When they get cold, they get out of the pool and they're shivering, So I know they do get cold. So.
for sure.
But anyway.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the
lot.
call.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Yes.
for accepting my call.
Absolutely.
Great job. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for the call. And thanks for everyone who's being respectful in the chat. I know that she even mentioned some psychics in that call. And many of you probably, I've seen comments, don't believe in that. Some of you take everything into consideration. Whether you believe that or not, it's definitely something that, some people believe in. So that is their opinion. A lot of people are saying that this is a far reach, right? Analyzing this photo. I think the things to analyze more than anything, because of like contrast issues with the photo, is just what's in the photo, right? Like the milk, like her sleeping on the milk. Like that's a no-brainer.
Call from.
I know that
Cookie Floyd.
she even mentioned,
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
some people believe in. So
Hello.
that is their opinion.
What's going on, my brother?
Hey,
a lot
how's
of
it
people
going?
are saying that this is a far reach.
Hey, it's a crazy day,
It is. I might have you mute the TV or whatever you're watching it on your side, just so we don't get a feedback loop going. Because I can hear myself coming through.
Got you. I'm good.
Amazing. Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Corky Floyd. I'm out of Knoxville, Tennessee, brother.
Oh, wow. So this is this story hits close to home.
Kind of local. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I just want to start off my 2 cents.
Yeah.
That part of the country of Tennessee is it's a little bit druggered up, and
Okay.
but the crazy thing is that we've been following this locally since it first appeared. Being out of Knoxville, I have a lot of influence as far as listening to local news and stuff. But the crazy thing is that picture that I seen, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, brother. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of crazy things in my life, and that poor girl looks like she's just on ice with the milk. I mean, I'm being honest. And way the seatbelt's behind her hoodie's pulled to the side. She's in a seatbelt, yeah, because they don't want her to fly through because she has no involuntary muscles at all. So
Right.
look at her fingernails. Look at her fingers, how they're swollen. Her thumbs are swollen. The nails are embedded into the thumbs. That scares me, and that's the thing that I've told my wife. My wife actually got up.
Yeah.
And left my garage. I have my computer set up in my garage. I'm a hot rod builder, but it was funny because
cool.
She just was like, "Oh my God!" She goes, "I'm not watching this."
Right.
So.
Yeah. It's it's tough. Yeah. I mean, you were saying you're kind of getting a lot more of the localized news on the case. Has it? I mean, did it kind of die down up until recently in November when they kind of started to search for her again, or has this been a very hot topic locally?
It's really not died down, brother. It's
Okay.
not died down. It's you still have volunteers that are trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah.
There's people that's pro bono that are really good investigators.
Yeah.
That are coming from Kentucky, Missouri, that are walking and they're doing what they can do.
Wow.
And this the little path that they're talking about, man, that was like the most junk I've ever heard coming out of the media because you would know that's your child. You would know that path is there, and it's just, there's a lot of, I guess, misrepresentation of the property.
Right.
It wasn't really well investigated, but I'm gonna tell you, dude, we want justice for this little girl. I mean, me in Knoxville, my kids are grown, but let me tell you this, that's close to home for us.
Oh, yeah.
And me and my wife we've been following this. So
yeah.
But I want to. First of all, I just want to say my 2 cents. I love what you're doing. I've been following you through all your cases, and
Well, thank you so much.
That's
Yeah.
what I do in my garage, dude.
You're
I
working
build
on
cars
bikes
and
and
listen to you.
I
work
cars.
on bikes. I work on hot rods.
Oh,
yeah,
hot rods. Nice.
listen to you. But dude, I appreciate you
Amazing.
getting the word out there, man. You're actually giving people that are just outside of the normal authority a means to help solve things that they can do just by normally thinking in their head. So
yeah, and it's good to hear from people like you that are in that area. I'm so curious. I mean, feel free to reach out to me. My email is linked in the About section. I'd love to. I mean, if I'm ever out in that area,
yes, sir.
Link up and chat about this. I might be making a bigger piece on this at some point. It'd be cool to get your opinion even further. But yeah, thanks so much for calling in. And yeah,
oh, dude, and God bless you, man.
Thank
Merry
you so
Christmas.
much.
But
Yeah.
I want to make my 2 cents. But like I said, the biggest thing is get justice for her, and make the ones that have done what they've done be accountable for what they've done. That's just what we're for, So.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, and yeah, especially
All right.
coming out
Aaron,
of somewhere that's so close to there.
Merry Christmas, dude. Merry Christmas, dude. You have a good one.
Yeah.
And
you
thank
as
you
well.
for everything you do, brother.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right.
Appreciate you calling
God
in.
bless you, man.
Yeah, you too.
You
Thanks.
too, bye.
Yeah, bye. What a great call, you guys. Oh my goodness. Also, for those who have been trying to get calling in, it's hard to hit the window. You got to just call right after to try to get in line next. We're going to take a couple more calls. I know which part or where are we at? We're over 2 hours. So I'm only going to take maybe 2 more calls and then we'll wrap things up. But that was a great call. Thanks so much.
Call from
Wendy.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello, is this Wendy?
Yes.
Hey, Wendy, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
Let me find my remote and use my TV here.
All right.
I should have done that before, but
You're all
really
right.
didn't know I was.
2 hours. Hopefully it takes maybe 2 more minutes and we'll wrap things up.
I'm having a hard time finding it.
You're good.
I'm trying. To point out, it was her seatbelt. For one thing, if she was buckled in by that seatbelt, she would have been over by the door, because that seatbelt at the top is for the seatbelt by the door. The seatbelt across her lap is for the middle seatbelt. Therefore, that had to be placed on her like that, because if she was buckled in the middle, there's no way that they would have put on the other seatbelt if she was going down the road. That don't make any sense.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. I was going to mention that in between not the last call, but the call prior, is that, because you can see the chest part of the seatbelt coming across from Summer's left side. Right. So it would have to be clicked in where the milk cartons are at, down in that area. And so, so she's in the middle seat and it's clearly clicked in under the milk carton. So, I mean, I know when I was a kid, if there was anything in the way of those, the seatbelt, it would sometimes be hard to to click it. So I definitely think she was clicked in for sure.
Well, that's not my point. My point is that's 2 different seatbelt locations using different seatbelts. That seatbelt that is going across her chest or going behind her arm, that seat is the seatbelt that goes to the person by the door.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
So the
that
middle seat's just a lap belt, you're saying?
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. So they're using the far left seat.
Right.
Gotcha. Yep.
And not by the doors. I mean, not by the boxes, but by the other doors.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. You would have never used that seatbelt for anybody in the middle. There's no way. Because it actually, it wouldn't be clicking behind her on the other side of her. So they had to have placed that there to hold her up or something. Right. And also, if you look real closely at the milk jug that she is leaning on, and you look underneath it, there's a gap. They're not sitting on top of each other. And there's also some pink in there also. So was some pink stuffed back there from her jacket to be held by those milk jugs to help hold her up also?
Yeah, I'm
Do you see
seeing
what I'm saying?
I'm seeing the pink. Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is extra. So you're saying
If you look in between the milk jugs, there's a little gap.
yeah. It almost
Okay,
does
so
look
that-
like her hoodie maybe was over the jug below, and then the other jug was sat there to prop. Because yeah, why would I mean, unless it was just some extra fabric that happened to kind of like be in that gap naturally. But I mean, yeah, it definitely does
That's
look
a lot
like
of fabric.
right.
And also, it's if you look real closely, those milk jugs are not sitting on top. I mean, there's a gap in between there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what is keeping that up above that other one?
Oh, and you know what? Someone just commented. Sorry to interrupt. Someone just said it's potentially the label on the other milk carton that's sideways that we're seeing. That's kind of reddish pink. But even then, yeah, you don't think so?
Then, I don't think so. But then again, if you look at her legs, okay, and you look at the side of the legs, it's over by the empty seat. And don't look at her legs though, but look at the seat itself. There's a big stain on the seat. And they were talking about not putting stains on the seat. That's why she's sitting on the pillow. Mm-hmm. And there's a stain on the seat right next to her legs.
Right, I can kind of see that. It's a little washed out, almost looking like and
it almost looks like it has some. Well, it looks kind of dark, and it almost looks like it has something in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then her thumb that he was talking about, her thumb looks completely mashed on her left-hand side. I mean, it looks flat and big, like something had happened to her thumb.
Right.
And then on her right-hand side of her face, the one facing the empty seat on the door, the empty seat,
mm-hmm.
There looks like there's two large bruises on that side because that side's not shadowed by anything. The front part of her body is shadowed from the person up front, but that's not shadowed. And if you look closely, her face looks bruised down by the side of her head, by her cheek, and up above.
Uh-huh.
But it really concerns me about the seatbelt thing because, you know, you try to think, I try to think to myself, you know, well, I think she's just sleeping. But then again, I have 3 children, 2 of them, well, all 3 of them are grown now. My other one graduated last year. But I've never buckled my children in. I don't care whether you had their car seats or whether you didn't have their car seats. I've never used one seatbelt and then used the other seatbelt next to it like that.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is if the seatbelt in the center just didn't work, or if it was like jammed. You know, sometimes but then again, I get what you're saying there for sure. The big thing with me on the stain on the seat or just in general, it's like they're not super clean people clearly in the first place, and so like the fact that they didn't want the seat wet in the middle of summer when it would have probably dried out a little bit anyways.
Exactly.
But then there's just candy all over the place that could be just melting and sticking to the seat, and there's like a crush bottle that's open that could easily be leaking soda onto the seat.
Exactly.
It's like that to me, like the idea of sitting someone on a pillow as to not get the car seat messy or wet or whatever. That's a red flag. Like it would be one thing if they were meticulously clean people and they said that, because then be like, well, it makes sense. They're very like, look at their house. But like, no, like look at their house. You wouldn't think that they would go out of their way for any reason to be clean. So it's like,
no, and that's Grandis's truck, and there's no exception to Grandis because her trailer is exactly the same way.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, thank you so much. Oh, you have one more. You have one more comment.
I have one more comment, and my comment is, as mean as they say that Candace could be to Summer and the other children, and Snap easy. And if that was her suit to be going for the first day of school for her hair that first day, I do not see them letting her put that on just because she was cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that. Not if they're like they are. They would have said, "You're not wearing that. That's for your first day. You should have, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
I don't see it. Don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that type of people. They don't care. They don't care whether they're cold. They don't care. And another thing is, if she was so cold, why would you put her on milk jugs?
Right. Yeah. That's commenting on that same thing. Yeah. A lot of people definitely agree on that line of thought for sure.
But with those people, I do not, if that was her, and it has been mentioned a million times, if that was her outfit to wear for the first day of school, they wouldn't have let her wear that.
Straight after swimming.
For any
Right.
reason whatsoever.
Right.
They
Yeah.
were so But
Makes
that's
sense.
my point, and I appreciate everything that you do, and I follow a lot of people, and I've dwindled it down.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
And I think that you do a wonderful job, and I enjoy watching you.
I appreciate that.
for
Thank
letting
you.
And thank you for letting me share my thoughts on that.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a happy
Have a
holiday.
Merry
Yes, you as well. Merry Christmas. Bye. Okay, so that was a great call. I've stopped the calls for the time being. I think I'm going to end the calls for now. Bex mentioned during that, and I didn't want to not mention this. She did have a slushie. And sorry for the people who didn't want Summer's photo up this whole time. I know we're talking. Oh no, I didn't end the calls. We're taking one more call. She did have a slushie though. So that's one thing to think about with lips being potentially blue. This is the last call.
Steven.
All right, we got Steven in the house.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Steven, how's it going?
Good, Aaron.
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
I just wanted to share a couple thoughts I had on some things people were saying. A lady, a couple calls ago from Texas,
Mhm.
that did her test with her head against the milk jug.
Yeah.
I just want to, I think we need to stay objective. We
Mhm.
don't know how long her head was on the milk jug. She could have moved it right after. I think the evidence of them talking, was her arm still in the position? That's evidence of them saying that she was a little bit restless at the time
Mhm.
and maybe moving around a little bit,
Yeah.
So we just need to be objective and know that we don't know how long she was that way. We don't know she rode the car right out that way. She could have moved literally the minute they got done
Yeah.
filming or what have you.
Right. Yeah. That's,
so I just wanted
that's
to
a
say that.
great point. This is what we need. We need people like you to come in and just be like, hey, now, like, it's okay to speculate, but also, yeah, that makes,
Exactly. I
that
just
makes
wanted to
total
stay
sense.
objective.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the second thing, I think what we really need to be looking at is what the mother's saying about when she disappeared. She said she was out with her mom for 2 minutes, putting the knee brace on.
Mhm.
That just don't add up to me. There's something deceptive there. Was she, did she fall asleep for an hour? Did her and her mom drink a beer? And what? There's something else you're not telling us there. It wasn't 2 minutes. That I believe is the key to this story. What actually happened? Come out and tell us what actually happened in that time. That there's a discrepancy of the 2 minutes. It wasn't
For
2
sure.
minutes she was out with your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the big thing also with them. I know that some of their, even like the interview with Hunter, for example, I think a lot of them aren't necessarily as accurate as they could be in giving with their statements on time, right? They could say, oh, we were down there swimming for half an hour. Was it half an hour or was it 55 minutes? Because that's double the time almost, right? And I know they were waiting for the prescription or whatever, and so all of it matters big time when it comes to piecing the whole story together. But I don't think that they're necessarily as like specific as they could be, because like you said, 2 minutes, it was probably, it could have been 5 or 10, and that's a lot more than 2 minutes, right? So a lot more can happen in 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, as opposed to 2. So yeah, you're completely right. I think looking at the timeline, making sure that all of it lines up perfectly is step number 1 for sure. Do you think that they're questioning, like, what are your thoughts on the case overall? Like, that's a pretty broad question, but with the whole questioning of the parents, do you think they're being questioned more on things like the timeline?
I think they should, because honestly, when you get down to it, I don't think the woman maliciously murdered her daughter, but I think she knows more. There's more there. There's something you're not telling us. You're afraid. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want people to think bad of you, but she holds the key to this case, in my opinion. The mom knows more, and we,
Well, and I think through that, I think Dawn knows that Candace knows more too, but I just don't know where.
I believe that too.
Yeah. So it's
in
like,
recordings, he said things like, that I have 7 alibis, you have none. Where's our daughter Candace? Like he knows. So
yeah.
Sorry,
No, that's a. Oh, you're good. That's a good point. I feel like I'm on the exact same boat as you right now. When people have asked me, like, what do I think about this as a whole? Like, I definitely don't think, like you said, that Candace outright just killed her out of nowhere. That doesn't make any sense. It more so would make sense for her to, and I don't know that this happened, but a lot of people think she was sold into trafficking or whatever. That, even though I don't think that is probably what happened, that makes more sense than her just killing her. Like, what's the reason for that, right?
Exactly.
And so,
I
I
agree.
think
it stems from some sort of neglect.
I think it's a negligence thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree, 100%.
Interesting, man.
So I just wanted to say that. I wanted to get that in there. I wanted us to stay objective and not get too too focused on one thing.
It can be. I mean, we're almost 2.5 hours in this stream, and it's like we just did a big tangent on the whole photo, which is, it's good to dive deep, but I appreciate your call, and I'm glad that came through, because this is my last call of the stream, so I'm glad that one ended up coming through. So thank you for being the voice of reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good talking to you, and I appreciate what you do and keeping
Thank you,
us out there for everybody, and I hope you enjoy your holiday.
Yeah, thanks, Steven. Appreciate you calling in. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, yeah, later. Okay, now I've ended the calls. And I feel like that was meant to happen. Steven was meant to call in and let us know, hey guys, it's good to dive in, but also she could have just been against the milk carton for that moment in the video, or when the photo was supposed to be taken. We don't know that she was leaned against it the whole time. Does it change what I think? I don't know exactly what I think with the whole milk crate carton thing, but he does have a great point there. So thanks to Steven for calling in. You guys, it's 7:00 my time. I fly out of the country in 11 hours. I'm going to have to go. So we're going to slowly start wrapping this up. We have over 1,000 people in here right now. If we could all hit the like button and get the stream to over 1,000 really quickly before we start to sign off, that would be incredible. It would help the channel out. This video will be posted after the fact. So if you know of anyone who would want to watch this, it's going to go up as its own standalone video on the channel afterwards. Also, it's worth mentioning, because we have 1,000 people in here, that we are nearing 14,000 subscribers. So we're just over 120-ish away. So if anyone is in here that's new to the channel, who has not yet subscribed, and you would like to do so, I'm going to be covering more stories. The Summer Wells story, of course, I mentioned that this is the final search. This is just the last time we're talking about it in 2021. Of course, I hope that there's answers that we can report on and talk about in the new year, or even sooner, as soon as humanly possible. But I will be here to report on that and to talk about that. And it looks like, you guys are going to be here as well. There's more people subscribing. That's amazing. Thank you. We are very, very close to 14,000. I have 3 videos coming out while I'm in Vancouver for the holidays. Okay, so so this is the 23rd. On the 26th, the day after Christmas, I have a video coming out. A video coming out on the 29th, so 3 days later. And then I think on the 2nd, January 2nd. So there's some content coming out. It's not around the Summer Wells case, but I hope that it will be an interesting video for you guys nonetheless. I'm going to read a few of the comments that are coming through as we potentially approach the 14,000 subscriber mark. And sorry to the people who I didn't, we were taking calls there. It's really hard to field your guys' comments and react to them during the calls, but I am seeing the comments. And it's just amazing, the dialogue. Oh, Gavis, can you tee up StreamYard? I don't have StreamYard. Gosh, were you trying to call in, Gavis? If you were trying to call in, I am so sorry. Gavis, I have to go I have to fly out tomorrow so early. I have to leave for the airport at 3 a.m., which is literally in 8 hours. So unfortunately, that's, I think, going to be it. Unless, we could do it through Discord or something, the chat on Discord. Sorry I missed that comment, Gavis. I think a little more time. Let's see what some people are saying here. Allison, like the stream. Thank you, Allison. Ruth Ann just subscribed and liked. Thank you, Ruth. Dixie, goodbye. Have a safe trip. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Stacy, congratulations. Thank you. Cheryl, thank you. Billy, thank you for joining today, Billy. I know you're a new viewer. Paula mentioned her lips could be blue from the blueberry slush. Exactly, Paula. I kind of forgot that throughout the whole stream. So it's good that people are reminding. Calcification, whatever. No one covers maps like Aaron. Thank you, Kelsey. TNT. Gavis, yes, we are definitely doing some skiing for sure. We're going up to the mountain right after Christmas for a few days. It will be very, very nice. What did JTube say? I feel like I missed a JTube comment. Ty, everyone, happy everything. Safe travels to you and beautiful wife. You'll be missed. Thank you, Ty. Thank you. Where's the JTube comment? Did I miss? Maybe it was TNT's. No, JTube said, midnight here in Scotland, pumpkin hour. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy, healthy New Year. Thank you, Captain Aaron. And first mate Alicia. Nice. Ginger Owl. What did Ginger Owl say? Aaron and Alicia, good effort. As always, Merry Christmas to you both. Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Angela. Ooh, Angela's coming in with the, but did she really have a slush comment? See, we have to think about all of that. You know, just because they said they had slushes, did they actually? I think they probably did, because Hunter would be really in on this lie to have the story line up perfectly. But then again, you never know. Holly says, Aaron, just focus from point that the dogs were at the road where they go find her. Whoever went past there is who took her. I think that was why the horse was out when they went back over to the horse pond. That's an interesting point. Yeah. The dog situation is weird because someone said something about them being hysterical, like barking like crazy. And then someone was there. I feel like there was another YouTuber there that said the dogs didn't bark at all. So it's hard to say. So much to talk about with this case. Casey, love your work expertise on Gabby's videos. Thank you. I never ended up watching the Gabby Petito Peacock documentary. Maybe I'll do that on the plane ride as well. Daisy May just subscribed. Thank you, Daisy. Z says, what bothers me is when Leslie upgraded to Amber Alert by new info they have received, and still this info has not been released. Just keep that in mind, folks. Don't be too quick to judge. Merry Christmas. Keep warm and stay healthy. Hug your family and friends while we're still allowed. Angela says, was that what they would say because they noticed her lips were turning blue? They didn't plant flowers. She wasn't gone 2 minutes. Everything had been a lie. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the point, is like, did she use the sonic part as part of the story as to once again paint the picture that that's why her lips could be blue? I'm going to be honest. I don't think Candace was that many steps ahead in all of this. I think regardless, they probably went to Sonic. I don't think it's that many layers deep. Holly says, I can guarantee you they actually did not check Mount Carmel Baptist Church, even though they were stationed there. It was most likely a place she probably was taken in the back door right away to wait. Who was taken in the back door? Oh my gosh, Joyce. Yeah. I hope your mug comes in, Joyce. Peacock show not worth it, says Cheryl. Is Peacock, does Peacock cost? I'm curious. I thought someone mentioned Peacock was free. We'll check back on that in a moment. Thank you everyone who's subscribing. We don't have to stay until we hit 14,000. It would be wonderful if we hit it. I'll keep an eye on it, but I do want to read a couple more comments that are coming through. Ruth Ann says, all this talk about slushies. Now I want one. Merry Christmas, Marilyn. We may never know, but I really want to hear what the brothers have to say about the family or even that day. Kelsey, yes. I talked about that in my last stream. The brothers are 100% a massive part in this, just from a time standpoint. Because imagine the brothers said, oh, yeah, I mean, they came home. Even if they said that, yeah, they went outside, they probably didn't know if they were planting flowers or what they were doing. But what if the brothers said something like, yeah, they were outside for an hour, and then, Summer came inside for another hour, and then, and then Candace came inside. Like, there could be huge things to where even if their hour isn't even as accurate, like if it was 50 minutes, regardless, the brothers would be a huge piece in this, I think, in like definitively like confirming the timeline or not. Unless they were just glued to the TV and they didn't even, see that Summer came inside. But dear Santa, I was kind of good. Bring mug, please. I really hope it gets there. Manda, the brothers, I don't know if they're with family or with a random foster. Someone else might know that. I didn't look into that prior to this. I think they're just with like child protective services, like provided by the state or the city. I don't think they're with family, but I could be wrong on that. It was found they did go to Sonic, but there was no slushie for Summer. I want to say Candace said something about her having part of hers. I don't know. Angela says, Don said the brothers were with him at work, and Candace said they were sleeping and watching TV at the same time. They keep saying they always tell the brothers to watch her, and they never do. Yikes. Nella says, what's coming in 2022? YouTube channel. The YouTube stuff, you can expect more live streams like this, more videos on not only this case and many others that are active, but also diving deep into other cases as well. I definitely want to highlight cases that are closed, but dive in deeper and kind of showcase some of the details of those cases. Oh my gosh, Corky Floyd. Is this who called earlier? Is this who called in the stream? I'm trying to think who that was. Thank you so much for the $20 super sticker, Floyd. Thank you so much. So generous. Wow. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for being you, says the super sticker. Well, Corky Floyd, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Very generous of you. Thank you so much. JTube, hey, good on you. It's rumored they can visit. Man, that was so nice. Everyone has been so generous with the super chats tonight, the super stickers. It kind of goes back to Nella's question. I was actually just getting into what's planned for 2022 on the YouTube channel. I was starting to get into that. Things like Floyd's super chat and super stickers, those donations go towards my independent documentary that I'm making. I've been working on it pre-production wise for about 2 months. It's always slow moving. Projects are always slow moving in the beginning phases because you're planning everything out. You're scheduling interviews. You're talking to people that are going to possibly be involved. You're trying to get other people involved. But I'm making essentially an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, which if you guys have seen the series, it was a very popular series, I think in the 80s. Netflix recently added 2 new seasons on to Netflix. There's a 3rd season in development right now. I am essentially making my version of that with a story that I'm not going to talk about quite yet, but I'm self-producing this documentary. I'll be flying around the country, filming interviews for it, gathering footage, and things like donations through super chats and some of the revenue that's gained from this channel, because this is just kind of my side project. I'm using things like that to help fund this documentary. So things like $20 from Floyd go a long way when I'm buying a couple $100 flights here and there for this project. So thank you so much, Floyd, and everyone else who's contributed, and everyone even that just hits the like button. It helps the channel more than you guys realize. So if you're not able to do things like super chats and donations, just you being here helps the channel out immensely. So thank you so much. We're 50 subscribers away from 14,000. I'm gonna read the comments for like 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna sign off. I never said this would be a short stream. I wanted this to be a good lengthy one, since I'm not going to be streaming for a couple weeks almost. Peacock, you need to pay if you choose a plan under 180 channels. Oh, okay. I don't think I would ever need 180 plus channels. Cheryl says, we can hardly wait. I can't wait either. It's going to be great. So that's what you can expect from the channel. That's a long-winded answer for Nella, but I'm going to keep doing this kind of stuff and working on my side project as well in the meantime. Manuel says there's a gag order on the boys talking on the case to Don or anybody but law enforcement. I did hear that from Don's interview, or his phone call with Chris from the interview room, that he was there's a gag order with talking to the boys. No, her mom sold her, and a person that bought her took her life. Ooh. Mimi with the sad face. I'll miss you, Vicky. I'll miss you guys too. It's been fun doing these streams. It's been fun making content here. But like I said earlier in the stream, I have 3 videos that are coming out, and actually a stream exclusive for the people that are here right now. I can show you guys one of, or a couple of, the thumbnails for the videos that are going to be coming out. So you guys will get a sneak peek into the videos that you can expect. Okay, so one of them is this. So it's a very basic video of me going over 10 prominent cases that are still unsolved to this day. This one right here is coming out as well. This is the on the Malaysian airline that went missing. And then we have this story here about a man who vanished in London. Those are very vague details, but I'm not going to give too much away. But those are the 3 videos that are scheduled to come out while I'm away for vacation. Okay, well, we're not going to cross 14,000 together, and that's okay. I don't want to take too much time, because like I said, I got to catch a flight here soon. So thank you all so much for being here. Have a happy holiday. Hopefully, if you're able to spend time with family, you enjoy that time. Have a good time, relax, rest, and hopefully we all can be back here in the new year and go over not only this case but other cases. So thank you all so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.